the same time. 1, 2, 3. I hope this is all the takes. All right.
It will be.
Blooper reel. Exactly.
We're going to have a YouTube
okay.
show, which we don't have a show. We just have a show of our bloopers.
Right. The blooper show. We came up with our name.
That's right.
Okay, so...
We would have had a show if we didn't fuck up so much.
Well, we were going to record all kinds of nerd stuff, but it didn't work out. So I'm Matt.
I'm John, and we're disappointing our parents.
All right. Probably got to take this little at least halfway serious. I mean, at least to get the introduction out of the way.
That's what I told the hooker, but she didn't. She said I didn't pay enough for that.
Okay. Okay. So I'm Matt.
I'm John.
And we're about to do a commentary leading up to Avengers Endgame. We're going to start off. The first movie is...
Avengers.
The
first one.
The good one. I mean...
the one with the stuff that everyone remembers.
Right. Well, I like the third one. Did you like the third? Like Infinity War?
I mean, yeah, Infinity War, of course. I mean,
but,
the build-up.
Right.
Know.
But
I mean, everyone, I think, just ignores...
Age of Ultron.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you mean the one with Dave Spader? You know?
Right. He was a good voice.
He was amazing as Ultron. That was like the good thing about Ultron.
Right. It was kind of a jumbled mess.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Joss Whedon was pretty much about to die at that point.
Well, yeah. I mean, he was ready to give up.
Yeah, he was like, I'm out of here. And
then I'm honestly surprised that Age of Ultron didn't turn into just a Firefly spinoff.
Right. I wish it would have.
That everyone would have loved it more, I think. Nathan Fillion just swoops in Firefly.
What do you think of Justice
Serenity.
League? I don't know. It's off subject. Joss Whedon.
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you. After I saw Batman vs Superman,
right,
I have not seen Justice League.
All right, so in the future, will we be doing a commentary of the Justice League as well?
Because I have so many problems with DC right now.
But Shazam and
I mean,
was awesome.
Like the individual movies are great. Like Wonder Woman, good.
Right.
Shazam, I've heard already good things.
Awesome.
Aquaman was solid.
Yeah.
But all the
Justice League had its problems for sure. But
Justice League and then Batman vs Superman. I mean, my problems are like you're people making a movie who obviously just don't really care about the source material.
Right. All right. Yeah. Back to the Avengers.
Right.
So we're about to get it started here. We're gonna switch to audio only because no one wants to see our pretty faces doing that thing.
Obviously, this is not what you've come for.
Right. So you should be watching Avengers and not just us watching Avengers because that's creepy.
Because there's anything that's weirder than listening to two people you don't know talk about a movie. It's watching those people talk about the movie while you're not watching the movie.
And I usually watch movies naked, so nobody wants to see that.
Trust me. I can't argue.
That's weird. All right, so in a minute, we're going to give you the time code of where we're starting from. So line up your Avengers DVD, Blu-ray, digital copy, whatever.
Get ready for the action.
Whatever you're on. And we'll see you in a second. Or you'll hear us in a second. All right. So.
It begins.
All right.
Squeaky chair.
Okay. So. Let's get it where it's going to be, and then we'll actually really start talking. Okay, so we are here in audio form. We're seeing the Paramount 100th anniversary, and it's fading away to the Tesseract.
Enter the voice of the one character you don't care about.
So, I didn't remember this scene. I had no clue this was in the movie.
I forgot about it completely. It was such a throwaway scene.
I didn't remember this scene so much that I was questioning whether we had the wrong version.
I honestly questioned reality, to be honest. I thought maybe we were in an alternate universe.
Disney, if you can hear your own movie in the background, please don't sue us or take our video down, brother.
Just don't be a dick.
You own a lot. Let us have this
You
YouTube
own
channel.
half the world.
We're fans of this thing. Okay, a helicopter is now in present sight.
Cresting over the hill to reveal SHIELD headquarters.
Ooh.
This location that we've never seen before and will shortly be destroyed.
It's true.
That's why I never imagined there actually being other SHIELD agents other than Coulson and Fury. Like, they're the only two that ever matter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean...
well, then you had that, like, council of people.
Well, yeah, that turn out to be evil anyway.
Right. Which we knew they were going to be evil.
Yeah, councils are always evil.
And Samuel L. Jackson is stepping out of the helicopter, looking all Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
I mean Nick Fury. Nick Fury's.
No, it's just he is who he is.
Right.
If he were to like pull out a gun right now and recite a Bible verse and shoot somebody, it wouldn't make a difference. Like, it'd still be Sam Jackson.
Right. You just turned me on.
Oh, that's what she's there for.
Right.
Going from How I Met Your Mother to kind of deadly secretary. I don't know what she does.
That's true. We don't know what she does.
She like follows Nick Fury and says things that are kind of obvious.
Right. She's kind of like doing what we're doing.
She's the in-movie commentary.
Right. Thank you for your input.
Well, that's the staple of all good science fiction and
right.
Like superhero films. You have to have that one character whose only job is just to say things to make sure that the really dumb people in the audience know what's going on.
Ooh, give it a spanking.
Oh.
I wonder if people will be able to hear this.
Our token Norwegian guy. He's not Norwegian. I can't remember where he's from. I think he's like Swedish. That's Skarsgård. That's
oh yeah, his dad.
That's Bill the Vampire. Is it his dad?
Yeah, it's
I knew they were
guy's
related,
dad. Yeah.
But I didn't know if they were actually like father son.
Alexander Skarsgård is that the young one or the?
That's the older one.
That's him.
Alexander is the vampire Bill from True Blood.
Okay, yeah, but then also,
and then his younger brother is It. Yeah,
and then this is their father.
Pennywise. Yeah.
Right, this is his father. Their father. But
cool. Yeah, I knew they were related, but I didn't know if it was like father,
right,
son kind of thing.
Let's see if people can hear this.
Oh,
yes.
Oh, that was so nice.
It's my Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, nothing feeds the addiction like caffeination
right.
with carbonation. You know, if I would really lived in a world where these superhero kind of things and sci-fi kind of things, anything that sparkles would be destroyed automatically.
Right.
Nothing good comes from things that sparkle. They open up other worlds.
See, I think Kobe Smoders
what is this anyway? They put it in a giant iron circular vise.
Right.
What are they even doing with this thing right now?
You know, scientists are always trying to blow up the world, right? You're a scientist.
Yeah. I mean, half of what we do is make a light beam that goes into something or shoots into the sky.
And we don't exactly know what it's going to do.
No, that's like quantum physics. Like, that's the thing. Like, we don't show people what quantum physics really is because this is it. We open portals to other worlds.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, so
that's what they do in CERN.
If you guys don't know, and you don't, since nobody knows us, John.
Yeah, I studied physics, and so this is real.
Right.
Everything I say on this thing will be 100% accurate because I am a scientist, and like in the movies, scientists know everything.
So Loki is real.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you're not saying the movie's real though. You're just saying what you say will be accurate.
Yeah, what I say will be accurate.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the movie is kind of real.
Right.
I mean, there is a reality.
Right.
In the movie.
Gotcha.
I mean, to me,
so you're about as pompous as every other scientist.
Oh no. So I know that I'm not gonna say everything that's real and true. I'm just saying whatever I say is true.
Loki is just murking fools in case we're paying attention here.
What's weird is now like we have 2 Infinity Stones in the room and we didn't know that at the time.
Yeah, like who gives up 1/6 of the greatest power in the world?
That's weird too,
to
right?
maybe get another one?
Yeah, because that was
Doesn't make any sense.
he got it from Thanos, and Thanos is trying to collect them all. But
Right.
he handed over an Infinity Stone to go get a different Infinity Stone.
Right.
And he loses both.
Yeah.
It's a wonder why Thanos hasn't killed Loki before
Right.
this point.
It just doesn't make any sense. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, spoilers. But I mean,
If you haven't seen it by now.
right.
So
Endgame's
everyone in
coming
this
out in a
movie
couple
is
weeks.
now dead in
Right.
in reality. It's a really strange thing to do to somebody. Oh. Classic bad guy reasoning. I could do the right thing, but I've come too far to change now.
right.
Now, I think that's racist. I mean, not everybody from like Northern European just knows all of Norse mythology. I mean,
Right.
come on.
And what does Samuel L. Jackson mean by your people?
Exactly. You mean the white guy? What has white people ever done to you?
Sore
Everything
subject.
that's wrong.
Pretty much everything.
That's wrong.
Awful things.
God, now he's under control? What's the other thing?
Oh.
Not peace?
The middle finger? Not the two fingers?
I think he means rape.
Mm. I don't know. He's just seeing it through one eye's perspective.
Yeah, if he had the blindfold off, he would... The blindfold. I mean, the eye patch. I called it a blindfold.
You know, you think that, like, Thor or, like, in the future, they would give him one of those little eye things. You know what I mean? Like, Thor lost his eye for, like, a day. And then...
He kind of had one. Remember, like, at the beginning of Infinity War?
Samuel L. Jackson?
No, Thor.
No, he had an eye patch, but then, like, instantly...
And then he took an eye, though.
Right. That's what I'm
But
saying.
he, like, robbed it from somebody. He didn't, like, just...
Yeah,
They don't just have, like, robotic eyes laying around Earth.
Yeah, but I'm
He was
saying
in
now...
space and took, like, a dude's space eye.
Right. But
It's, like,
Captain
really
Marvel
unhygienic.
can run around as fast as she wants. Thor can go in the thing. He can't bring Samuel L. Jackson an extra eye.
No, of course not. Well, his eye is special, you know.
Right.
It was cursed by...
It must be
like,
patchable.
Cat scratch fever.
Right. But honestly, I thought Thor looked pretty cool with the eye patch. To be
Yeah, yeah.
real.
He looked
Like, I mean,
ba-
because
he
it was
looked
kind of like...
badass.
It was kind of like his dad. kind of-
Viking space pirate kind of.
Yeah, and a throwback to
Yeah.
his
Odin.
dad. Yeah, Odin.
Yeah.
Odin's son. But then it's like, oh, no, Chris Hemsworth is too gorgeous not to have both eyes.
I mean, that's kind of true.
Yeah, that's true. And beautiful eyes.
We're being honest here. Now here's the classic, like, the building is exploding, but we're not just, like, getting out immediately. What are they trying to carry out in those crates? Nothing is that valuable. I mean, you literally have the most powerful thing in the bottom of the building blowing everything up.
Yeah.
Everything else is disposable. Just get
it
out.
was the Bud Light.
Oh, that actually makes sense.
It was
If
the
there's
beer, bro.
anything we got to save, it's the beer.
The beer's here, sir. We got it.
We get the beer. Go, 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 go.
Go, go, go. This is actually just a very elaborate Super Bowl intro.
Yeah. Yeah, I get how the helicopter could escape, but how did everyone in those cars actually get out?
Did they?
I mean, that the Earth is just consuming itself now.
Oh, I guess just Colby Smulders gets out because she's smolderingly hot.
Yeah.
And when I called her Toots earlier, I was being sarcastic about how they treat her, not like literally. Seriously, don't be to me, guys. This is. I know we don't call women Toots now.
Yeah, we haven't called them that since like the 1930s.
Right.
So
I'm sure I'm
I don't know. There might be something. There's one guy out there that still uses that term.
right. And
Oh man, that's how awesome Fury is. He just takes a handgun and starts shooting people from a helicopter.
right, he just saw that definitely would not work against Loki. Right. I mean, Loki blocked all of it.
I mean, he's an Asgardian god with a magic wand that takes people's minds.
But I got a Glock.
Yeah, I can shoot it. This is a very American style of action here.
Right.
Like any problem can at least be shot at.
All right. Who has walkie-talkies anymore?
They're probably special walkie-talkies.
They probably are special walkie-talkies.
They're shield issue walkie-talkies.
Make sure you're talking into your mic, by the way. Your mic is like 6 inches from your face.
I know, right?
Off to the left.
Hello?
I'm talking more about you, like literally.
Oh, like this?
Like your mic is like, you're talking right here.
Yeah, I'm moving like this and this.
Yeah.
I have it like right here.
Okay.
I'm right here.
All
I'm
right.
like in a range. I'm just
All right.
tilting my head like this.
Okay.
I can like move like this. Is
There.
this better?
That's probably. Or just move the mic towards your face a little bit.
Let me just develop scoliosis while watching this movie.
I'm just trying to get your perspective, so it's not like I'm just talking to myself. But that would be funny if you really just can't hear one of us. It just sounds like a psychopath talking to himself.
Oh, this is everyone's
God.
fantasy right here. Scarlett
mean-
Johansson tied to a chair.
Oh. Or me tied to a chair with Scarlett
I mean,
Johansson.
she could tie me to a
like,
chair.
I mean,
That's
like,
fine. I mean,
equal rights
yeah,
right there.
exactly. It's sexist not to think that sometimes people wouldn't want to be tied to a chair.
Right. Gosh, she is bad, though. Like, for real. Like, especially in this movie. I mean, I'm not calling her ugly later, but I'm just saying. We just dig this
Two
hole.
movies later, she really ugged out on us, guys. And I don't know what happened.
I'm just meaning I like her with the red hair over the blonde hair.
Oh, right. Okay. She
Right.
does do the hair change.
Right.
You got the thing, huh? Got the redheads are your thing, huh?
You see my wife's hair?
Yeah. You watch Conan O'Brien a lot?
Well, yeah. You know.
You really like the movie Brave?
He has those long legs.
Yeah.
Movie Brave. Not really.
No.
Much. But I do like the Scottish accent she has.
Yeah.
Was that Irish, maybe? I don't know.
She's Scottish.
But I'm saying what I just did might have been more Irish.
I don't know what you just did.
It was trying. It was a reach.
This is one thing Joss Whedon does really well. It's like taking characters in like impossible situations and then giving them like a crazy way to get out of them. You know, who would be calling her? It's like, oh yeah, this is S.H.I.E.L.D. We know everything about everyone all the time. So we're just going to call this person
Right.
on your phone while you have her held hostage. So she can talk about how she's got you where she wants you. This is the part where I think like this would be awesome because she's in complete control. She let herself be tied to a chair.
That's even hotter. They're moving forward with her movie. It's being
It took
filmed
too
really
long.
soon.
They should have done that. Like they should have done it after this movie. Honestly,
Right.
They should have like already had her standalone.
Right. But the men were running things.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of assholes in Hollywood.
It's true.
No offense, guys. you are dicks.
Please
No
accept
offense.
us.
We want your money. We just don't want your terrible judgment.
Right. Can we have your money without your...
If you just
Awful
give us
way
your
of
money
treating
without
people.
like telling us what to do with it,
Right.
that would be the best.
Yes. You can look us up. Sponsor us. We're here to make things for you. I'm going to be specific of what we're going to make.
Yeah, that's yet to be seen.
Right. But we have ideas.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the moment where she realizes what she's about to do was so much scarier than what she was just doing. Right?
Yeah.
Because like, oh, I was having to like, interrogate Russians while they thought they were torturing me,
Yeah, but this is the Hulk.
and it's
mean,
the Hulk, right?
Yeah, but she can't like do anything to him.
I think it's really scary though,
Besides
because
trying to
like
do
I
him.
think what scares her the most is that it's a Hulk, but it's like he's changed.
Yeah.
He's no longer, Ed Norton. He's now Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Sorry.
No.
Mark What's his name?
I know it's. If you wouldn't have said that, I would have completely known his
Why
name.
did I say I said Wahlberg earlier, so that's why I said Wahlberg.
That would have been even crazier if it was Mark Wahlberg. What version of Avengers are we watching?
I think they should have done the thing where like it's Mark. What's his name?
It is Mark something.
Yeah,
Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. It's Mark Ruffalo.
Sorry,
as
you're
Bruce.
awesome. By the way, we like you in the movies.
No, you're amazing.
Just,
But like make Mark Ruffalo Bruce Banner, and then make Mark Wahlberg like paint Mark Wahlberg green, and make him the Hulk like they used to do in the TV show,
like Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah. Although I don't think Mark Ruffalo is like shorter than Mark Wahlberg.
That's true.
Although Ed Norton is shorter than Mark Ruffalo.
Is he?
I think so.
I don't know. Ed Norton looks like he'd be tall just because he's really slender.
He's a slim guy. Yeah.
Usually when people are built that way, they're taller. But
Right.
maybe he's not. I
Mhm.
don't know. I think actors always look kind of. I actually was watching an interview with them, and they were talking about how every time they get seen, it was Mark Ruffalo talking with Chris Evans and them. They were like, every time we're seeing, like, people are like, "Oh, we thought you were taller." It's like it always seems like actors get that. We thought you were taller.
Everyone except for Tom Cruise. I think everyone now knows how short Tom Cruise really is.
Right. He's like, what, 3'11"? That was a mini couch he was jumping on.
Makes every film really awkward for him.
Right.
All right, I want you to punch this guy in the face. I can't reach. Give me a booster seat.
That's awful.
Sorry, Tom Cruise. You're amazing.
Yes. And
You're better than us.
and small people. We love you too.
Yeah.
Tyrion is my favorite character. It came as
I think that made it worse.
that's like the equivalent of saying, "Oh, I'm not racist. I have black friends."
Right? Yeah. I've won. He likes me. Oh god, this tells you how old this movie is, man. She's like rocking a sidekick right now.
Oh, like like the futuristic phone. I remember that from like the first Iron Man when he like pulls out his phone and he can like video chat, and I was like,
right?
And I was like, holy crap, man, that's like the future. And then now we're doing
like 5 years later. It's like, man, that's a really old phone.
right. But like looking at it at the time, I was thinking, no way we'll ever be there.
That's right. Well, not many people know this, but Steve Jobs is actually a member of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's why
that makes sense. Yeah. It all connects the dots now.
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, that face.
Oh my gosh. Very.
She's like afraid but unaffected at the same time. I don't know how that's possible. Wow. It's a lot of people.
We got people in this studio.
Here's the council.
This
Here's the people that end up being evil later. Spoiler alert. If you didn't realize.
Yeah, if you're watching this.
If you haven't seen Captain America 2 yet.
Wait, my wife just walked in and she's dressed really pretty to go to a work party, but I'm starting to question, why are you dressed that pretty to go to a work party? Who are you trying to impress?
No, don't worry, man. I mean, everybody has 2 boyfriends.
What? I only have one boyfriend. Wait.
Where's my other?
Jesus. I didn't know you could have 2. We probably turn up a little bit at these spots.
Ah, these low token moments. Oh, my goodness. I mean, do they want themselves to look evil? Why do you have like a dark room for a video chat?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that wars are won by drones now, not soldiers. I mean, God, like we're disrespecting everybody.
Because of Chris Evans.
Right.
I mean, it's Chris Evans. You have to
That's
have
true.
a reason to put him in the fight.
And it is true that, boots on the ground. That works.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground.
Boots on the ground. This guy's still alive.
He could punch my bag
Look,
anytime.
I'm sorry. If you have like a multi-billion-dollar like secret government agency and they can't build a better punching bag.
It's true. But I don't think he's in that, is he? He's just like, I guess he's in a gym? Or
It looks like he found the only gym still modeled after the 1940s
makes
to
sense.
hang out in,
He's not adapting well.
including the posters of the dudes with like the old school fighting stance in the background, like fighting Irish looking fighting stance.
Yeah.
Like
The guy's
fisticuffs.
just like, block your
Fisticuffs,
face,
sir."
bro. Block your face.
Yeah.
You're about to get hit. It's kind of like the fighting equivalent of like getting in lines and shooting each other.
Yeah. Let's bring back that old style, It's like no tactics, just see how many people we can put in a row and how many of them can hit how many of your people who are also standing in a row.
Right. Because these guns are so damn ineffective. It's like, why did we give up the bow and arrow? But then they perfected it.
Oh, yeah.
Too bad.
Does it bother anybody else that Hydra's symbol is just an octopus? Like the Hydra was like this dragon with like multiple heads.
Oh, the Hydra. Yeah.
But the symbol for Hydra is just
You
like a Nazi octopus.
You sure it's not supposed to be heads on those?
No, it's like one head, but it has like a bunch of tentacles. They just showed it.
Huh. I don't wear briefs. That wasn't somebody's phone that we forgot to cut down. And it wasn't mine.
Yours. Way to screw it up. I don't know that this is like the proper way to maintain a underwater power grid.
I didn't go check my phone or anything. The
Yeah,
squeaking chair.
we just enjoyed our awkward silence watching the movie.
Right, we were watching the movie.
At this point, I think Tony Stark never uses a car.
And this is before Vision was all but what's a audio word for Vision?
Well, that's Vision talking to him right now.
I know, but it's not a Vision yet.
It's just Jarvis.
He's just an audio. I was trying to think of something clever. I can't think of anything clever.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You can come back to it when you're clever.
Okay. Sorry, everybody. I wasted your time not being clever. She's pretty hot in this movie, actually. I mean,
Yeah. They could only pay her so much, so she's only in a few scenes.
they could only pay her so much.
I heard for this movie to prepare, she only ate like damp bamboo shoots for like 2 weeks straight.
Are you kidding? Is that a real
I'm kidding.
I was like,
she's like notorious for her like she
Oh.
does like these crazy dietary things.
Oh, does she? Isn't she married to like Seal, or wasn't she married? To
No, she's not.
No. This is Coldplay. She's married to
They're
Coldplay.
not married anymore.
Okay.
You
Well, I
know,
said
what a
wasn't.
way to bring up an awkward situation. My goodness, if
Well-
we were there in that room right now, it would be really weird.
Yeah.
Not just because we say things that are really weird about her,
Right.
but because we don't belong there.
Because we're not as pretty as her.
No, very few are. I mean,
Right.
let's be honest.
I really think she's like this movie and then the other movie that Shallow Hal. She was really pretty.
Oh wow,
in that
yeah,
movie.
that was a crazy one. That's it's reaching back.
Right. I remember it's really like I don't think that concept would work anymore. You know what I mean?
No, they still kind of do it though. I mean, Hollywood still kind of puts those movies out there.
Kind of. But I mean they're really
I mean, that's what that isn't it romantic or whatever movie that just came out?
Yeah, but she's poking fun at herself and that's her actual size, but that wasn't the joke, wasn't that she's a big girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she calls herself that. She pokes fun at herself. That's slightly different.
All right, different than Jack Black thinking you're hot when you're.
Yeah, and like, what's the guy from Seinfeld? I can't think of his name, but his whole character in that. Bacon fatties, and like just the way he's talking, it's so awful.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
no sensitivity to the to the community at all.
Right. Now that like 50% of us are fat.
Yeah. I mean, come on, we gotta have some fat love out there. If we're gonna, I think we should
together.
own the obesity. Like, if like we as a country is gonna just get fat,
Right.
we should. Let's not shy away from it.
Get the fat joke. Or get the fat vote. I need a fat president. Oh wait, we do.
Oh, but he's also big,
That's true. He's huge.
just like his ego.
See, we don't have that text still yet.
No, yeah. Where's the hologram that I can like fully interact with just on the spur of the moment?
Now, HoloLens is getting there a little bit.
A little bit, but I mean,
Yeah.
like actually like grabbing something,
Right.
and, like turning it around with your hand and all that.
Well, you can in the HoloLens, but you couldn't just see it without having.
Well, yeah.
Well, maybe like 10 years.
This is the technology that's most mind blowing. You're in like a high level military aircraft, and you can just talk to the person right beside you, like you can hear them.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just another thing that aircraft like you always see that in movies, but it's never true.
Yeah.
If you're like really in one of those kind of airplanes in
Right.
real life, you can't hear anything.
Like we're in the same room and I can barely hear you.
Well, I mean, honestly, it's because I don't want you to hear me.
Huh?
What? Oh yeah, the creepy fanboy interaction here with Coulson.
Yeah. He's like, will you sign my Playboy cards? I mean,
Hey, not to
baseball
be weird
cards.
or anything, but I idolized you as a child.
Right. You were my first crush. I mean, you were my first.
Yeah. I have some cards with you on them that they're in that skin tight suit. God, can you believe that this guy used to be, the flaming torch,
Oh, yeah. A Human Torch.
whatever.
The Flaming Torch.
Whatever.
Sounds like a different movie.
It was the best set of
I
movies
think you
from
were
a
watching
terrible
the
franchise.
18 and above version of The Flaming Torch.
Maybe that's why I like Fantastic Four more than most people.
And she didn't turn invisible. She literally just got naked.
She could make any clothes turn out.
Right. She can make any closed. Turn invisible.
Oh wow. Is he mind stoning himself right now?
I don't know.
This is the cell phone I'm waiting for, is where it projects you into a different place while you can talk to people,
That'd be kind of cool.
or like your own memories or whatever is going on right
Do you have any of the VR stuff yet?
now. No, it's still kind of expensive, and there's not
Yeah.
enough stuff out there for it.
Right.
VR. I mean, you have 3 games that are worthwhile, and then everything else is just like, oh look, you can see around you.
I was mostly thinking about the porn, but yeah.
Oh well,
that,
yeah. I mean,
that works
if
too.
if
Games,
anything's
video
gonna
games.
drive
I mean,
vi-
gaming.
If
I meant
anything's
gaming.
going to drive VR, it's going to be the porn.
I meant gaming. That's what I was thinking first.
Obviously,
Off,
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to play Skyrim like I'm really there.
Yeah.
And then have
Rim
sex
job
with an
like you're. We might have to put an explicit on these
this
videos.
will definitely be. Let's just steer into the curve here and just say, you know what, the next big thing is going to be VR proctology. Really get in there.
Right.
Again, like this guy. Like they don't really ever say his name.
I don't think he matters.
I mean, they kill him in Guardians.
Right. That's why he doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, the question is, why does he even need it at this point? Like he's just like a glorified secretary right now.
So he's like the Colby Smulders of Thanos.
he just says the obvious stuff so that we don't have to spend money on Thanos' CG at this point.
Right. Where's the Proxima Midnight or whatever those people were?
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty legit in that movie.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like especially the one that fought Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
My big complaint with Infinity War was, okay, they had all of Ultron, right? And we already discussed how Ultron's not necessarily our favorite. But the big point of it was, oh, we're going to create Vision because Vision is going to help us somehow. You know what I mean? Like,
in Ultron,
you remember in
right.
Ultron, they were like Vision, you know. It was,
well, I mean, I don't know that I think it was just to prevent Ultron from getting the body.
He said,
Vision.
you know, something's coming, and at the center of it was that, talking about the stone. But anyways, besides the point, they built up Vision like he was going to be somebody special, and that he was super strong.
Well, he is.
Yeah, but then in the very beginning of Infinity War, he's like stabbed, and then he's just like the bitch throughout the entire movie.
Well, they stabbed him with something. I mean, they had to weaken him somehow, I guess.
Right. I guess, but I mean, just what I'm saying, they like completely sidelined him. You know
well, I mean, they did the same thing with Hulk. You know, Hulk is like this indestructible being,
but he had like a moment.
He gets bitch slapped by
right.
Thanos.
But when you see it done by
but
Thanos,
it still, I mean, it's the same. I mean, well, I mean, it's still like Thanos people.
Yeah, I guess
these aren't like chumps.
But
these
then
are,
that
like,
same
really strong
Thanos people got beat by Captain America.
Well,
like, how are these power levels? They jump from movie to movie like crazy, like of what people can do.
Yeah, I guess it's just fighting styles and what.
I guess.
I mean, Captain America did like throw like a trident at him or something.
They threw a trident
at
him, and he caught it.
Oh yeah,
and he's like,
and
"I'm Captain
like,
America."
Hey,
I mean, it was cool.
Yeah,
I'll give it
pretty
that.
awesome.
But and then like at the very end, he catches Thanos' hand for like a
well, maybe they were prepared for Vision, but they weren't prepared for the others.
I guess. Well, I mean, they did catch Vision off guard by stabbing him, but
see,
I guess
there's logic there.
I guess so.
I mean, it's more understandable than a supervillain who somehow magically knows the secret identities of two of the major villains, the major heroes of
We're back to Batman v Superman.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just like, well, how does he know? How does he know? And then how does he use that in like the worst, most inefficient way possible?
Why does he make the thumbnails their logos?
It doesn't
like
make
he comes
sense.
up with their logo for them,
What the hell?
and they weren't even known. Wonder Woman.
And he knows about the rest of the Justice League before it's the Justice League.
Right.
It makes no sense.
It's true. I mean,
not to mention his like weird Silicon Valley cokehead attitude that he's like.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because he played Facebook, dude.
Yeah, he was just kind of rehashing. Like, if Zuckerberg existed in DC Universe.
Right. If Zuckerberg was a little nicer, you would be.
If Zuckerberg had a moral compass, he would be Lex Luthor.
Let's play Zuckerberg with a personality and moral compass.
But you know what Lex Luthor can't do? I bet Lex Luthor can't barbecue like Zuckerberg.
It's true.
Oh, that was so weird.
What?
No, look it up sometime. It's
Mark
a really weird
Zuckerberg
video.
barbecuing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really awkward.
Is he not good at it?
No, he just talks about he talks about it a lot. It's
okay.
You just have there's a video.
I honestly don't think he's as evil as that movie portrayed him. To be honest.
Who? Lex Luthor.
Exactly.
Lex Luthor, like he he cares.
Right. I mean, I get it. Superman's scary. I mean, Batman had the same idea. Let's kill him.
Yeah. Well, they had a hard time in the Social Network movie because they had to make, Armie Hammer as embodiment of twins look like bad guys, and he's too handsome to be a bad guy.
Yeah, he's gorgeous. I mean, you know.
No, it's the truth. He's inordinately a handsome man.
He's really, and he has the deep baritone voice.
know,
I
right?
can't even
Like,
do it.
He's like 6 foot 20 feet tall.
Right. Perfect jawline, blue eyes, blonde hair.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's just Zeus.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Or
And
Thor,
his name's
or whatever in real life. Like,
Army Hammer, right?
Yeah.
Arm and Hammer.
Yes.
That was his.
Yes, they named him that.
Yeah. But isn't it like something to do with his family too?
Probably. I don't know. I don't know him.
I know he's like his grandfather was
Ask him
super rich.
at the reunion. You know, I don't know.
At the reunion. What reunion? That back alley wasn't a reunion spot.
Why does having your mind taken over make you look like you're on like some kind of drug withdrawal? Like you get the eyes.
Remember, that's might be purposeful a little bit, because people think of people on drugs not being in control sometimes. I guess it depends on the drug. Some drugs I quite enjoy.
God, why does he still dress like he's from the 40s? Like, can't they update his fashion a little bit?
Pull down your pants, man. A little bit.
Do you think your belly button's gonna get cold?
Right.
Hey, there's a Hydra guy. I like how like after the fact you see all these like side characters
Yeah.
who end up being like playing a part in later movies.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, that guy's evil.
I like the part that's coming up here. That guy's playing Tetris or
No,
Galaga.
Galaga.
Yeah. That guy's playing Galaga. And then it cuts back, he really is.
Yeah. That was a Joss Whedonism.
Yeah.
Where he just throws in these like trivial things that are kind of funny. Now, for all the conspiracy theorists out there, that is a pagan altar. So, congrats.
Which one?
The thing in the middle of the room, like you get the bull horns and everything. That's an altar.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally a thing to sacrifice things.
That was isn't that what's the dude? I can't even think of that god's name. It's who we base a lot of
Jeff Bezos.
Right. That guy. The devil. No. I really don't want to offend Hollywood, Mark Zuckerberg, Donald Trump, and Jeff Bezos. Like all of the world's most powerful people.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you're insignificant, you can insult everyone because, like, what are they going to do?
Right.
Destroy me.
Destroy us.
And they're not going to think twice about it.
Right. Oh, I see the bull now. Yeah. That's a different bull that I was thinking of. But remember the goat face dude who like all the people think are like Illuminati
Pan or whatever?
Pan, yeah. But
I don't think that's it, but I think that's similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah.
See, look at that. He's about to sacrifice a dude on an altar. Like the fanciest tech in the world, and they can't like just scan the eyeball.
Right.
They have to actually carve his eyeball out with this magic blue knife.
Right. It's gonna bring it to the other eyeball.
I guess. I'm wondering, like, is this human technology or is this like some weird alien technology he brought with him?
I don't know.
Because he only brought the staff, and yet we have. That means somebody on Earth invented the carve out the eyeball and transmit the scan to another device thing.
So,
Way too elaborate.
Right. It's like, we could just take a picture. We could use an
I
iPhone.
mean, you could literally, like, it's a computer, hack it or something.
Right.
Do you
I think
really
it's
need
just
to do
kind
an
of
eyeball?
to show you, hey, I'm evil.
Yeah.
That was
you
just
have a
more of
magic staff that can take over people's minds. You can't blow through a safe.
Right. For real. Yeah, what are you... Seriously, what are you doing? Why are you even using an eyeball? Like, whoa.
No, you just turned over a car, and you can't get into a vault
Right.
without carving a dude's face out.
He's about to say it.
He's such... Oh, my goodness. You know what makes Loki such a great villain? White privilege.
Because he's a white guy.
It's
He's
just,
one of those people.
It's just all white privilege right here.
Right.
He just expects to be in control of everything.
He is kind of like a entitled person.
Yeah.
I mean,
nothing against Tom Hiddleston. He just has that look of someone who could just automatically think he's better than you.
Yeah, but he's probably right.
I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm just saying, give me a chance to show you how much you are better than me.
Right.
I mean, let me fail for you. Don't assume I'm going to fail.
Right. Even if it's pretty much inevitable that you're better than me, Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah. He does have a devilish grin. Like
Right.
he does that really well.
Hey, yo. That's actually a pretty powerful moment.
I know,
don't
right?
wanna
I mean,
make
that
any-
like
I
leave
really
it
don't
to
wanna make
Marvel to go from like superhero to like Holocaust survivor standing
Right.
up against tyranny kind of thing.
Right. But then look at the symbolism too of like America saved him.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Which is exactly how we like to remind people of it from World War II.
Right. We think
You know,
that.
no matter what we've done since then, remember, we saved you at one point.
Right.
We were the good guys.
Yeah.
It's at some point.
Right.
Even when we were the bad guys, we were the good guys.
Well, and then I think Russia actually did a vast majority of the heavy lifting in that war.
Shh, don't. No, America.
Yeah, I mean, America took
okay.
over.
Come
I'm
on.
from America, number one. I definitely not a big Putin guy, but just saying.
The favorite part about this scene to me is that out of all of this, Iron Man takes the trouble to hijack the PA system to play AC/DC for his entrance.
Well, he's like, I'll take a few more minutes to fly in just so I can.
Hold on
have
a second.
advantage."
We got to make sure they know I'm coming. So, yeah.
I'm sure he's talking to Jarvis just to do it. He's probably on his way.
Oh, I mean, Jarvis obviously did it.
right.
But still,
He's not
the
like-
fact that he said to do it, like he intentionally wanted this song to be his intro song.
Right.
Because he could just be listening to it in his helmet. He didn't have to let everybody else hear it, but he wanted everyone to hear it.
You know another thing about, and this is skipping movies, but Infinity War.
We've already skipped movies a lot.
Right. Skipping movies
Spoiler alert.
again. So I loved in Thor Ragnarok the soundtrack that they were using. You know
Oh yeah, it was
about?
amazing.
Like it was
soundtrack.
awesome.
Yeah.
And the one thing that would have made Infinity War so much cooler is at the very end when Thor comes down and is wrecking shop. If they would have started playing
Zeppelin.
that,
Yeah, bring
that back.
Oh, yeah.
That would have just been so much cooler. You know what I mean? If he would have just bring me Thanos and it's
Oh
or
yeah,
whatever it is.
but that's an expensive song. Like you don't. That song
Really?
Does not, yeah.
How much they spit on that movie? You think they care about a
Well,
freaking
probably not.
song?
But I'm just saying, like they don't like Zeppelin. You don't hear Zeppelin songs in movies, very
right.
much.
But they put it in Thor Ragnarok. I mean, they spent more making Thanos' head than they would ever
No,
make
that's very
on
true.
that. I
I
don't
agree.
think
I mean,
money
take,
is an
take
object
it up with the
to these
director.
people.
You know, I mean, I agree with you. That would have been
Right.
a cool. Like,
That would
song.
have been awesome. But yeah, I mean,
Maybe you could have played off a little too kitschy of being like, oh yeah, each hero has their own pop song that they get intro
Right.
with or something.
but they established the movie before.
Thor. You know, the truth is,
Or
I didn't
couple
really
movies.
care for Thor until Ragnarok.
Really?
Like
I
the
li- I
movies.
like
I
the
like him
first Thor.
okay. Like he's cool. And
Yeah.
he's got he got a cool edge to him and all that. But like until he goes through Ragnarok, I didn't really like him as a character. Like
Right.
the universe that he was in and everything.
Maybe it's because
To me, he's just like a Fabio right now. He's just
I
he's there
guess.
to do something, and then
Well, the thing is, though, and it's so funny because I was watching an interview about that not too long ago, too. But, it just seems like a funny dude, too. You know what I mean?
Chris
Like,
Hemsworth.
yeah, it's
I
it's
like
kind of
Chris Hemsworth.
pisses you off because he's, so good looking and funny and everything.
Yeah.
He's like, really?
Yeah,
Can't you just be an asshole?
yeah. Really attractive people should not be grounded.
right.
You should live with your head in the skies, believing all the
Right.
things that we hate.
You're funny like somebody's, somebody that was a nerdy kid. You definitely were.
Absolutely.
But I liked the first Thor. The second Thor, not so much. We don't speak of the second Thor.
I didn't mind the second one. I mean,
Really?
the story wasn't strong,
And
but
then they just get rid of Natalie Portman. They're just like,
Yeah.
and she's, what was the joke? It was pretty funny.
oh yeah, in Ragnarok, they were
Right,
like, oh,
right.
she broke up with you. Yeah,
No, we're just,
it was a mutual breaking up.
it was, yes, I broke up with her.
yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, that was a shame.
Yeah, but I don't necessarily know if she fit into it that much, really.
I don't think that the first movies just didn't play really well,
Right.
and she didn't really add to it. I
Yeah.
don't think in that character didn't
Yeah.
add to it. Although I mean, it would be cool if they actually if they continue this movie universe to bring in her character back because of what happened in the comics.
Oh, where she becomes Lady Thor?
Yeah, where she
Yeah.
becomes the female Thor. I mean, that's a cool storyline, I think.
Yeah, I just
I
don't
think
know if
Natalie
she's
Portman would be cool to do it too. Where like
Yeah.
her being Thor all of a sudden
Yeah.
would be interesting. Maybe. Oh, a little squeaky. Family disputes, man. Just take it home. Don't argue out your problems on a random mountain in Earth.
Yeah, especially with cameras on you.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to do this with a camera
they
crew
never
around you?
explain how he got here, do they?
Who, Thor?
Yeah. Because the Rainbow Bridge is still broken.
I think they said Heimdall gave him there or whatever.
But how?
He said he summoned up all dark energy to
Oh,
bring me
really?
here. I think
That
he
what he
says
said?
something about that.
That was like those one-liners they just throw in there. Because
Right.
they have to use the Tesseract to get back.
Right.
So that doesn't really get explained either. He has this like magic cage for the Tesseract that teleports them. Like, where did that come from?
He was smuggling it.
You don't want to know.
Well, it doesn't say how long he's been on Earth
Yeah,
before he lands on the plane earlier.
that's true. I mean, the two good things about this is the two cocky dudes
Right.
meeting up for the first time, and
I thought Doctor Strange and him had a really cool dynamic.
that was
Yeah.
good. That was funny.
Like, I liked Doctor Strange
Yeah.
better in that movie than I did in Doctor Strange.
I could see that. I guess.
You know what I
Yeah.
I mean, I like Doctor Strange,
I liked it too.
but I just don't think
Bit
he
of a
was
strange
at that
movie.
cocky as I guess he was always kind of cocky.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cocky people in the Marvel universe.
Right.
It's kind of weird, actually. Think
I
about
guess
it.
if you're
It's
going to dress up and,
because I mean,
be a
Spider-Man's
super-
kind of cocky.
Right. I think there's just kind of, that's, you
Captain Marvel she had like an
a
attitude
little bit of
to
yeah,
her.
she did.
Black Panther was pretty humble.
Yeah. He's pretty cool. I like Black Panther.
Yeah.
The first time I saw Black Panther, though, I was not as big of a fan because I think it was just so hyped that I was just, I don't know, I think it could have never lived up to what I was hearing about it,
I know. That's why I try not to pay attention to the hype.
Right. But then when I went back and watched it and I was like, oh, this is really good,
Yeah. See it early and
Right.
don't talk to anyone before you watch it. That's
Right,
usually
right.
how I try to do it. Only care about the opinions of people who put commentaries on YouTube.
Exactly like ours.
Exactly.
We're the authority.
Listen to us and no one else.
Yes.
Although we may not actually talk about it until after it's come out of the theaters. So listen to
probably
wait
undo-
until you watch it with us.
Exactly. Before you formulate an opinion of your own.
Exactly. Don't even watch it like without the commentary first. Watch it with the commentary, so that you will not actually hear half the movie. You will just hear us talking about things that are not really related.
Probably
to the movie.
not related to the movie and what's happening at the movie.
Yes. Because you probably missed everything that's happened in this scene right now, which is a kind of important moment for the formation of the Avengers. The amazing vibranium shield.
Yeah.
It's another thing, you don't really understand the metal that much. I mean, until you like get to Black Panther, they talk about it a little more.
Yeah. They set up things a little bit, which is kind of cool too because I think in the was it the Hulk or one of them where they're like showing a map and they say Wakanda and it's like they, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's just they're just putting things out there that they hoped would come about. You know?
I think they've been building up to it from the beginning.
Right.
I think first line.
Right, but I mean I think that that's them
Ultron.
Right.
I mean, Ultron. The Vision's made out of it.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
Which that's kind of funny. I'm surprised they didn't have like Black Panther show up and like try to confiscate Vision and be like, "Hey, your body kind of belongs to our country."
No one paid any taxes for your body. But that too is kind of weird because what he said about getting stabbed, he said, "Is that even possible? I didn't know it was." So, but it's like it's just a weird.
Yeah, it's something special. It's kind of like the poison dagger from Lord of the Rings kind of thing. It's just like
Right.
you don't really know what it is. You know it's bad.
Right.
I still don't understand how this thing was their like contingency plan for Hulk.
What do you mean?
This cage was designed for Hulk that they're putting Loki in right now.
Right.
How are they going to get him in there? If he already hulks out before he gets in there,
Yeah.
you're not going to wrangle him into this tuna can,
I guess you would.
and then
open
you're
up
going to
both
do that and then drop him out of the sky, and it's probably still not going to kill him anyway.
Yeah, but you would like.
And how do they think? Like, why do they think that? Because Loki will later trick him into that, saying, "Oh yeah, we'll see if you can die." Why would falling in that thing make you die anymore? Like he fell out of the Rainbow Bridge to a planet into a giant junk heap and didn't die. Why would being in that thing make you die?
You talking about in Ragnarok?
Yeah.
Well, but I mean that hadn't happened yet.
Well, I know, but still, like he's fallen from great heights before.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, he's gotten punched by a giant laser beam faced robot in the first Thor, and you think falling in a glass can from
You mean Loki? Why would Loki think he could die? They think.
I'm just
people
saying, like
immortal,
they throw that out there, and then
Right.
how is this going to contain the Hulk?
Well, and then how does Loki die from a broken neck? That's. I was like,
I mean, it's Thanos breaking his neck.
right, but
It's a magic break.
Thor
Because
took
it's a break with
Thor
love.
took the entire sun of this star, whatever star it was.
It's true, but Thor is much stouter than Loki.
Yeah, I guess he's.
Oh, there is
Asgardian
the fan
versus-
theory that Loki isn't dead,
Right, because it was the opposite hand or whatever.
something like that.
Yeah, because they think when he does his like mirror trick, uses the opposite. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And he
But
was.
you can't touch him when he does the trick. Like he's just an image.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that's part
At
of
least when they show him do it to Thor, he always like runs through him and stuff.
Right. But I think at some point he does kind of because he flips in between. I think when he's walking.
He's a trickster.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm not going to put it past him. He's a trickster.
And also, like, what he says to Thor before. Like, why would he think that little knife was going to... Like, he was really going to trick him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was a really stupid move from somebody who's that smart.
Yeah. Although he was just trying to give his brother a way to escape, I guess.
Yes. I don't know. I mean...
Obviously, we don't have perfect memories about these things. So we'll have to rewatch them. I'm really surprised that Iron Man's not in his Iron Man suit right now, just to show off.
Right.
Yep, there you
There's
go.
the spot.
That's it. Classic. Make fun of disabled.
No, jeez. I'm sure putting this thing on this metal part that doesn't even hook up to any of its interfaces.
It's a bug. It's a bug.
It's
weird.
it's a Wi-Fi
It's
bug.
like Tony Stark doesn't trust the government.
I mean, like, whatever would make him think that.
Weird.
He's been working for the government.
More or less. I mean, and later on, he's going to side with the government. He does a real weird turn there with Civil War.
Right. But it was kind of more like, I don't know, you can see, like, how it came up.
Yeah. I mean, he
Can you
was,
hear that,
he was very
Dr.
guilt-driven in
Peppercorn?
that.
And it was also kind of like, not necessarily a government, like everybody's government.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's just weird because, you never would have thought that Captain America would be the rebel.
right. I mean, I guess that's kind of what they're playing off of a little
Yeah.
bit. That he was the schoolboy, not schoolboy, but you know what I'm saying? He was the goody two shoes, and the other guy was off, and then it flips.
Back to Gallica.
Yeah, that's the thing. Which I guess you could just say that somebody's enraged, and somebody he killed his mom, but it just seemed like
Who killed his mom?
you were talking about Civil War, so you know what I mean, like.
Oh right. Yeah.
But it just seems like someone would be pissed in a moment and like lash out, but to continue fighting with like trying to kill them, even though you absolutely know that he was in mind control. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it seems like you would lash out and maybe but after your friend's there to like beat
get some separation,
get a couple separation, it'd be like,
off.
listen, it wasn't him, and he's like, I know, but he was my mom.
But he still killed him.
Right. I mean, I don't know.
Look at these superheroes and mom problems, man.
Right. Martha.
Oh, God.
Your mom's name's Martha, too?
Worst ending of all time to a fight.
Oh, my gosh. Martha.
It wasn't even that great of a fight to begin with. I mean, it looked cool cinematically, but
it was crazy. It was so I don't know. It's just always so stupid when anybody fights Superman, because there's like no way
That's
he
the whole
should
point.
lose.
Batman outsmarts Superman. That's the point.
Yeah, but it's just like then
that's what I'm
Superman
saying.
is
They
a
didn't do it in the
moron.
movie. They should.
Right.
Like he's supposed to be able to trick him and trap him. And
Right.
Think him.
But they didn't really do that. They made him go toe to toe.
I'm gonna pull a tire with a chain for about 20 minutes.
And then get in a suit that has
put on a robot suit.
right, that has no
and then
barrier.
have a kryptonite spear.
Right.
And then I'm going to outpunch the Man of Steel. And then when I'm about to kill him, I'll find out his mom's name.
And if it's Martha, you can live.
I swear to God, if anybody else's mom is named Martha, it's over. I'm done.
Lex is like, my mom's name's Martha too. You can live.
I'm waiting for the face-off where Joker does that to Batman. He's just like, he's about to punch him, and he just goes, Martha.
We should totally make.
Stops, like,
we should totally make that skit if that doesn't exist. Copyright. That'd be hilarious. We should totally have that. One guy dresses up like Batman, the other guy dresses up like the Joker.
Yeah. Here's this great moment where Tony Stark spreads his distrust of the government to Captain America. We have rules.
You could totally have, like, Batman, like, all of his enemies, like, they found out that's the way of not getting...
Right. And so every issue ends with them saying Martha.
Martha!
And he's like, fine. And just walks
Your
off.
mom's name's Martha.
Yeah.
Save Martha! Wow.
At some point, everyone in the DC universe's mom is
Statistically, I really don't think all these people...
This doesn't sound right anymore. I need to go do some research.
It's like that dude. That dude had a hilarious... Those Batman... I don't know. I can't think of his guy's name. Does the Batman v Superman.
Pete Holmes.
Oh, gosh. His Batman stuff
those are amazing.
Making me cry. Some of it was so hilarious.
All of them. All of the Batman.
Yeah. Riddle me this. Is the answer helicopters?
Yeah. You got an image problem. I get it.
Oh, gosh.
What are you going to do with your laser beams? Eat up some old woman's porridge?
Is that cold, madam?
Yeah. This is some of the best stuff ever made.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Back to the Avengers movie that we're watching right now.
Oh, the thing where we're looking for the thing that's going to destroy the world kind of thing. That's the other part about this. I don't really understand the full effect of this plan here, because Loki, he has the Tesseract right now, right?
It's like he had it, but he gave it up.
Well, no, like
to get the Hulk, to get it back.
Well, like,
right?
Does he not have it?
No, because they took it back from him. Right? They just got it from him. They have
they
his
just
spear.
got it from him. They have it on the ship.
Yeah.
No, they have the staff on the ship. Do they also have the Tesseract on the ship? Because I thought that was the whole point of bringing Bannon in, was to track the Tesseract
Right.
and to find it. Because they don't have, no, it has, because it's with the He's a Skarsgård because he's about to open the portal with it, right? He's building the thing.
Right.
So they don't have the Tesseract.
Okay. So
They just
which
have the
stone is the
staff, so-
Tesseract? Anyways, I don't remember.
Huh?
One's the Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone's in the wand, in the staff that
Okay.
they have right now.
And what's
the Tesseract is like this. That's all it's ever called is Tesseract. It's just like a power stone or something like that.
Okay.
The Space Stone, I think, actually.
Okay, yeah. I think you're right, because that's what transported.
Yeah, but that's what I don't get. Is like he has the Tesseract. Just go back to Thanos.
Well, I think the idea is to open up the portal. He doesn't want to just give it to Thanos. He wants to give him the world. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but as Thanos, I'd be like, all right, open the portal, bring it to me as the arm, like, just...
Right. Right. Yeah, I mean...
There's other ways of getting an army to Earth.
Right. Can you not... Yeah. It's true.
Like, for someone who's so dead set on just getting the stones,
Yeah.
why do this?
Well, yeah, that doesn't make much sense. I think it's because they wanted, 10 movies out of it.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
A lot more money.
It's true. You ever watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? They're looking at Coulson here. It's actually a good show.
Is it?
I haven't watched the last, 1 or 2 seasons of it, but I got through, the 3 or 4 seasons.
Really?
And it's solid. I mean, it does a solid job. Talks about he comes back, That's
Yeah,
spoiler alert.
I don't know how he came
Well,
back, but I knew he came back.
It tells you in the
yeah.
show. It's actually a good complimentary show because it talks about things that are happening in the universe
Right.
in a way that gives you a little more background information.
Right. I think they're going to kind of retcon a lot of the Daredevil stuff because, they're taking it away from them.
Yeah,
So
they're going to try to maybe redo it or something on Disney.
Right. And they never really were, they called things the incident, but they never were they were
Right.
they never
So,
really,
the Netflix Marvel stuff
they never completely
had
connected it.
where it happened.
Right.
But in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show,
They have
there's
crossover
actually
characters and
direct
stuff. Right.
things.
References.
There's some crossover with actors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They did a good job with what was her name? The detective girlfriend of Captain America,
Oh, she's in it?
Agent Carter.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I saw Agent Carter.
Yeah,
And
that was.
she's beautiful.
Yeah, well, of course, but also that was a good show. I mean,
Right. Yeah, that was an awesome show. We really liked that. It was cool because they had the same guy that played Tony Stark's dad in it, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say they did a really good job with some of the making TV as complementary to
Right.
the movies.
Well, that's what they're doing with that Disney Plus now, too.
Right.
Yeah,
I
they
get
have
that
the
because they're
wa-
actually going to get the actors from
Yeah,
the movies.
the Tom
to do the
Hiddleston
shows.
has
Yeah.
a show, and then Wanda and Vision are going to have a show, literally called
I mean,
WandaVision.
that'll be pretty epic.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And then they have the Star Wars stuff, too. Whatchamacallit?
I heard they're going to stop the movies though. They're going to take a break.
Yeah,
from
they're
the
taking a
movies.
break, which I'm glad about.
I could go off on what I don't like about some of the Star Wars stuff right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a different Disney franchise. We'll do that
Right.
for a different day.
Different day.
But seriously, another
different
Death
com-
Star? I mean, come on. It's just a bigger, fatter, stupider Death Star. It's just dumb.
Oh my gosh. Well, they're bringing it back again.
No, I'm over Force Awakens.
No, I know, but if you see the new trailer, they're going to the wreckage of the Death Star.
Oh, Jesus. God. Just kill me now.
They're not saying it's a Death Star, but they're.
It
Going
might
back
as well
to it.
be. I mean,
Right. They're going back to the well with the Emperor.
Just
I think
leave it
that's
to
kinda cool.
leave it to Abrams to just copy somebody else and
Right.
call it his own. I mean, he does some things really well. It just
But he just
writing an
harkens back-
original story is
He
not one of
harkens
them.
back to the old days.
There's a difference between harkening back and just flat out just taking from it and not really making it better or
Right.
any different.
Yeah. And I love how people are probably watching this movie right now. They're like, they're not talking about this movie.
Oh yeah, here's Loki playing mind games with Natasha.
Yeah, I love how our commentary of this movie is nothing about this movie. It's just basically us talking.
Yep, that's all commentary.
It's something
is.
that will remind us of something else, and we'll just go off on a tangent.
Well, it's kind of about the movie,
Right. That's
Yeah.
true.
loosely about the
I
movie.
mean, it's about Disney.
I'll see. This is a great thing where like so in before when she was tied to the chair, this is they planted a seed of her emotional
Right.
manipulative abilities,
Yeah.
right? And now she's like playing the part really well of being manipulated by this guy, but not really being manipulated by him.
Right.
Yeah, he's a bit it's a bit dark right there.
It's kind of a cool way of showing him as a villain and giving him the plot, but not making her a damsel in distress.
That's like
at
the
same
most
time.
villainous scene I think Loki's really ever had. Like
Yeah.
I mean, other than like him demanding other people to be subservient to him,
Right.
like that moment is like super dark.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the time, it's just him like tricking people to get to what he wants out of them, and then she turns around on him. Although it doesn't really ever was that clear to me as like how out of all of that whole spiel she got, oh, the Hulk's really what matters here.
Mm-hmm.
But they came to that conclusion somehow.
Right.
And even like what he doesn't have plans for the Hulk. Like what is he going to do with the Hulk?
I guess he's gonna wake him up.
Like he's going to cause the Hulk to have a reaction, but he doesn't know how to do that really.
Well, that's when they're bringing that thing in. You know what I mean? Like the other dude, Hawkeye's on his way.
Well, I know that, and they're going to cause a wreck on the ship.
Right.
But other than that, like that's his plan for like summoning the Hulk or getting the Hulk to really come out. Is yeah, if we blow up a ship that's in the sky, surely the Hulk's going to come out of that.
Yeah, that would work.
I mean, other than like, oh, let's just kill
I mean,
everybody
Bruce
on
isn't
this
gonna
ship.
just fall out of the sky and the Hulk's gonna be like, yeah, let's just let him die.
You know what's weird though? Like now thinking back from Captain Marvel, this is not the first time he's had an alien invasion.
Yeah,
So
I know.
like him using
That's all
Thor
retcon.
as the
Yeah.
motivation for doing the stuff with the Tesseract is kind of a lie.
Yeah,
Because they had the Tesseract
right.
from Captain Marvel,
Yeah,
and they've been doing this stuff since then.
yeah, exactly.
And Thor only showed up
It's
like
his
a year.
fault.
Yeah,
We didn't know there was aliens. Oh wait, we did.
Yeah. Of course, Fury does play things close to the vest, so he's like
Right.
doesn't want to give away the fact that we know another more powerful super being that's out there in the world,
Yeah,
in the universe that we can call at any moment.
which is weird because it's like Ultron wasn't enough.
No. The only emergencies to contact Captain Marvel,
Right.
which literally means at the cusp of death, when half the universe is dying.
Right. That's what you can.
That's
call
when you call Captain Marvel, and hope that
Those
she
long
doesn't fall into the
distance-
half.
it. Those long distance beeps must be really expensive.
I know. I wonder what his minutes look like.
Right.
I mean, especially the pager, man.
Right.
That must be terrible.
Who's his network?
It's not AT&T
right.
or Verizon.
Exactly.
he
Must
has,
be Google Fiber.
he has Cricket. I can't walk under a bridge with Cricket and get a service, but he can call Captain Marvel from the other end of the universe.
Because, space stuff, science stuff.
It's the power of 90s alt rock.
Right. Back off.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is the moment where they all get testy and they don't realize why.
Probably because they're testosterone.
Yeah. Insult. Hurtful things. Meanness. No, that's technically true. Oh, it's weird to think about it because you had Captain America and the Hulk were both kind of the same project.
Yeah, the way they played it in this one.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like,
and then
they were trying to remake it, but then he got like adding gamma rays to it.
Yeah, and then Captain Marvel is also from the same project. Not exactly the same.
How?
Because there was a Tesseract-driven engine that blew up, and when it blew up, it gave her powers.
Did they use the Tesseract? And
They used the Tesseract to create Captain America, didn't they? That was like part of the experiment. Was the super soldier experiment was based on
it was just a
that
formula.
research.
I didn't know it was.
I mean, it was a formula, but I think it was like based in that sort of.
I did not know that.
Because Red Skull that's how he created himself, right?
Right.
In Captain America.
No. Because Red Skull was already Red Skull when he found the Tesseract.
Oh,
they
that's
were
right.
trying to get
so
the
there was a
Tesseract.
different formula
Right.
going on. Okay.
Because they were trying to get the Tesseract.
No, okay. So it's just sort of like there in the background.
Right. Yeah. Because remember they're trying to find it, and Hydra has the Tesseract at the time. We gotta watch Captain America again. It's been a long time.
I need to watch Elmo again. Apparently, my memory's shite.
The first scene, we didn't even know it existed.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I was like, damn it, I bought the wrong one. This commentary's gonna suck.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of because Thor has his powers because he's Asgardian.
Right.
The Hulk gets it from an experiment gone wrong. Captain America gets it from an experiment gone right. Thor, Iron Man, just builds it himself, builds his powers.
Yeah.
But Scarlet Witch, Vision are both from the Mind Stone. Quicksilver's from the Mind Stone too, technically, but he dies, so he doesn't count anymore.
Yeah. So a lot of it's from Infinity War, which not
Captain Marvel's from the Tesseract.
But Hulk's not. What is Hulk?
Well, Hulk must be from the serum.
He's part of the. He had
Captain America.
They were trying to recreate the serum. I thought.
Yeah, a different serum.
And he took it, and then he was shot with gamma rays. So it's like a hulked up steroid version of
just gone awry.
Right.
Spider-Man's from. Do they connect it in any way? The spider, because they don't really talk about.
No,
what
they
the
kind of
spiders
just
are doing.
they just kind of brushed over it a little bit.
Yeah,
because
I'm getting confused now because the Amazing Spider-Man was going on a slightly different lure of where the spider came from and the research involved. Than this Spider-Man and the Captain Marvel and the Marvel universe.
Well, yeah, I mean it's a different movie, so I mean it's a different universe.
It's a different movie, but Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man was a different power as well.
Right, but none of those were Marvel. I mean, you know what I mean? They were Sony Marvel.
I get you. But as I'm saying is I'm gotta keep them straight. What is the source of Spider-Man in this universe's power? I mean,
he was bit by a spider.
Yeah, obviously. Well, then you have the Into the Spider-Verse, which is
which was awesome.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good.
I love the Japanese girl Spider-Man.
Yeah, the anime version.
Yeah. Nope. Here comes the Hulk. The part you've been waiting for. This is, to me, in the Avengers movies, the Hulk is like the sinking of the Titanic in Titanic. It's the part that you kind of suffer through the rest of the movie to get to.
Right.
And
but man, they really took him out of Infinity War. They really did.
Man, he bitched out so hard.
I know, but I mean, I wonder because they could be doing.
He's got to come back for Endgame. I mean, there's got to be a thing for sure. Character development that brings him back.
Well, there is different versions of him in the comic books. I think they may be playing off of it a little bit from what I've heard.
He does get smarter.
Right, there's a smart version.
Yeah.
And then there's also a
then
Earthbreaker.
She-Hulk comes along. Red Hulk comes along. And
there might, because if you noticed, in Ragnarok, he's a little smarter.
He starts talking.
Yeah.
And he's starting to gain more intelligence.
So, now, will he be... And there's also what they call the Earthbreaker or something like that Hulk, which he's World Breaker Hulk. Supposed to be extremely strong. I don't know.
Well, I'm
mostly a comic book
some of it it's supposed to be
watcher.
Every time he hulks, every time he becomes Hulk, and every time he gets something happens to him, he gains more power somehow.
Right. Well, the angrier he gets or something.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like the Guy Ritchie. Hulk dogs. the villain? Hulk dogs. And what's that other actor's name? I can't even think of his name right now.
Oh.
The guy who's his father who talks like this.
It's not Busey.
No. He kind of sounds like that though.
No, they have very similar voices.
Right.
Oh man, what's his name? Nolte. Nick Nolte.
Nick Nolte. Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
Those like actors that have like perpetual smoking voice.
Honestly, I didn't hate that movie when it first came out. I think it's just because there was nothing really to compare it to. You know
No,
what I
that's
mean?
true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was back. It was in like the dark times.
The dark times.
Back when we didn't know what a good superhero movie could
Right.
be.
I just thought, whoa, he's super strong and
Now,
can
to be
jump
fair,
really
like
high.
part of what made that movie kind of bad was the director was like so like infatuated with the technical side of making the movie that he just like we got like 2 hours worth of the Hulk jumping through the desert.
Yeah.
And not much else happened.
Yeah, that's true. It actually was a lot of
Exposition?
Yeah, exposition.
Yeah, a lot of talking.
A lot of talking in that movie. Like a lot of headspace, headsy stuff going on.
It was really weird.
Yeah, I kind of wouldn't mind going back and watching it and like with this lens on because I haven't seen it in so long. But he was definitely more powerful in that movie. Like,
yeah,
you know what I
he
mean?
started off a lot stronger, I think.
Yeah. He was huge too. Whoa.
They could make a whole movie. Like, well,
Thor.
I guess they did. Thor Ragnarok was
yeah.
just like Thor and Hulk punching each other around for a while.
Which I'm surprised, like they actually, which I know it's his movie, but they really did like decisively look like Thor had won. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like cause the joke from the
kind
movie,
of. I mean,
he like lightninged out and then was like beating the heck out of him.
Yeah, but then he got stopped. I mean,
right.
It never really became decisive fully because
I guess
you didn't see what
right
what would have happened.
Yeah.
Right. It kind of went to the Hulk.
What do you think? Do you think Hela's still alive?
I mean, I don't know.
They could be bringing her into. Because
Maybe.
usually Lady Death was supposed to be like that's who she's playing.
Well,
you know, they might merge
the Norse goddess of death.
Right, but they like there was a Hela and there was a Lady Death in the comic books supposedly.
Well, yeah, because that was Thanos was always like trying to go after death.
Death, like trying to appease death.
Right.
You know, so that's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
She's basically mixed to that. You know what I mean? So she could like.
It would be an interesting.
Like I think she could take out Thanos. Maybe. I mean, possibly. Because Thor couldn't take her out.
To what end, though? Like, why would she take out Thanos?
I don't know. I hadn't got that far.
See? She let everyone know there was a grenade.
Yeah. This is a good secretary.
Colby Smulders does her job.
Thank you. She shot a guy. Sure, that's going to be on the recording.
Yep. Good stuff.
I'm not a drinker much, but I could get you some like rum or something if you want.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Next time we'll say that for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, it's one of those kind of jets.
Those are real.
I know. I realize they're real.
I mean, I don't think that's a real one. I'm sure that's CGI, but I'm just saying. Like, why would you get that close to him?
Oh, wait, here comes a classic line. Does he say it in this one? I made him angry or something like that? Oh, yeah, target angry. Target angry.
Target angry. This is the one where he goes, I'm always angry.
Yeah, but it's at the end of the movie.
Yeah, well.
Oh, that would have been, like, absolutely horrifying as a person. Like,
Right,
you think you got away,
and then the Hulk caught you.
He catches you. Yeah. I like to like find out from someone who actually works on jet engines and stuff how this like mid-air jet repair,
Yeah, how's this supposed to work?
like how does this legit, does this check out?
I mean, I don't think
Can we just like clear out some of the debris here and just restart the turbines and
right. I don't honestly think like a flying ship hangar would work.
they knocked out what two
Right.
engines?
Yeah, but I mean, like in general, like that whole big
Oh yeah,
old
no,
thing.
that's
There's
ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah,
There's no way.
come on.
I mean, that's the thing. It wouldn't be metal inside.
Now this I love, like
when he shoots and like has
Yeah.
perfect aim.
perfect with a like 6-prong
Right.
thing. Like people can't plug in a USB without trying like 5 times.
Right.
And that this guy can shoot an arrow and like hit it perfectly on the first go. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I mean, he is Hawkeye.
And it's angled up too. Like what computer has
Yeah,
that?
why did they angle it up?
Yeah, it's like we have no reason to do this, but I think angling this slightly upwards is gonna help us. It's just gonna make the install easier.
Right.
It just makes it perfect for Hawkeye.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but what plug has ever like moved that way?
Yeah, that's another one. Who designed that arrowhead, like specifically for that purpose?
Right.
And what do you put on it?
Like we will design this arrowhead
this virus
for the
for
zero.
delivering this specific virus on this specific airship in this specific circumstance.
Right. It's like the eye thing for earlier, but this is even more specific.
Yeah.
It's like this is made for the 0.0000001% of people that can shoot this.
That's
into
what they
something.
need. They need in one of the future Marvel movies like a Q, like a
Yeah,
James Bond
yeah.
Q character. But he's like a genius person who like literally predicts the most absurd things you'll need equipment for and invents
Right.
it. He just has a warehouse full of stuff. I
Exactly.
would like to see the stuff that he invents that doesn't actually need to be used.
Right.
He just like it's for that one time when they might have used this, but
Right.
they didn't end up needing it.
They're kind of using Tony Stark like that now, or they did.
Yeah. He's kind of gone into the consultant role
Right.
in the MCU. It's like I was the first, kind of, but not really, but ish.
It's kind of weird though that they did make like. I listen to this guy and he always talks about how they kind of like took down the specialness of Spider-Man by just like making him Iron Man Jr. basically.
Yeah, I they bring him in. I think they'll like spread him out a little more
Right.
in the next like home. Was it Far From Home?
Right. There was somebody, I know this isn't true, but they were talking about, they were saying, wouldn't it be awesome if they took like $2 million and they just shot the Far From Home trailers? But it's not a real movie. It's literally just trailers.
Wasn't that the Visit Australia campaign?
Yeah.
Where they made up the Crocodile Dundee Jr.
Right.
movie?
Right.
Oh, I want to see that movie.
Yeah, that looked
I
awesome.
was like, me and my dad were both like extremely disappointed.
Yeah.
Because like Crocodile Dundee is like hilarious
Yeah.
from the 80s and just
But they were playing it with it like
and
saying,
especially like those two actors together
yeah,
would have been that would have been an amazing movie. Just an American trying to go to Australia and be a bushman. Like, of course that's going to end badly.
right. But yeah, so they were saying the same thing basically about Spider-Man. Like, wouldn't it be awesome if that's like the biggest throw off? Because you think, oh well, he has to come back because he's Spider-Man. But
there is no movie. He actually does die.
Yeah, he's literally dead. There's
He's
no
not
movie.
coming back.
He's not coming back. He's not coming back. They're all really dead. But they threw you off by showing you these trailers. That would be like the biggest Kahuna move. I would
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
thumbs up.
They would really own us all. If
They would give
pulled
me
something
that.
like
Would be like, you have my total. Here's all my monies. Take it.
This is another like great moment in movies, like that's a stereotype of like if someone is either possessed or hypnotized or under the mind control of someone else, hitting them very hard on the head
Well, it's science.
breaks them out of it. And what
Right.
is it like
So-
afterwards? She tells him it was like a shock or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like she gave him like a really technical term. It's
It's-
like I hit you hard in the head.
Yeah.
See, here you go. The tuna can. This thing was how they were like, oh, how do we take care of the Hulk? Let's
Right.
put him in a big glass case and dump him down onto whatever place we have to be over at the time.
Yeah.
Like it's over land. Like the Hulk would have still hulked out, but in a small village and killed everyone.
Yeah, that's the risk they were willing to take.
I mean, that's to me, that's like the mentality of the American government. You know how we deal with problems? We make them other people's problems.
Right. And we're over some other country now, so here you go.
And then, hey, hello, SWAT team. SEAL Team 6, how's it going? We're dead.
Oh, gosh.
The next recording will come from Guantanamo.
You me. Oh, crap, I didn't even think about that. They can hear us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Coulson died, but hit Loki with... Now, that kind of also makes me wonder. So he hit him with a weapon designed after the monster, the big
Right.
monster from Thor 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
He survived it.
Yeah, but I don't think it was necessarily as powerful as that.
Maybe not, but still.
Right.
Like,
I mean, I think it's, yeah.
how much can they take? Like, you know, what would kill an Asgardian at this point?
Breaking his neck.
The
Same way you kill
The
Zod.
big purple guy breaks his neck.
Same way you kill
Because,
Zod.
you know, he literally gets, at the end of this movie, he gets smacked around by, like, Hulk. That
Yeah.
doesn't kill him. I mean, it hurts him, but it doesn't
Right.
kill him.
Yeah.
Can they be killed? I mean,
Apparently.
because the only Asgardian we've seen actually die has been...
Well, Heimdall dies. All those Asgardians and stuff die on that ship.
Well, by Thanos' hands.
Right. Or, yeah.
But still, before that, the only time we see any of them die is Odin, and he, like, Luke Skywalker out of nowhere.
Right. Well, then, and Hela kills them all.
Oh, I mean, yeah, like the lesser Asgardians.
They're still Asgardians.
I mean, to me, they're
Yeah.
not real Asgardians.
Because, you know.
They died.
Zachary Levi had to go play Shazam.
Obviously.
We had to kill him.
Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I understand why they killed him now.
All right.
I'm not sad about it. I mean, I was like, okay, I get it.
Dude, you gotta see Shazam. It's
I
that good. Seriously.
Our theme of not talking about this movie.
Yes.
Oh, this is like old Yeller dying scene right here.
Don't die. Look into my eye. Stay
Come
with
on,
me.
Coulson. You emotionless, amazing man.
Just water just starts coming down from his eye patch as he's crying.
It just floods. No, he doesn't die. He doesn't cry, though.
Yes.
Fury never cries.
You know who believed in superheroes? This guy. There's blood on these cards.
Yep. Which, when he talks about the fact that the cards were in the locker room.
Right.
Where's the blood come from? Does he actually
Yeah, he
go
put
back to
blood on
Coulson
it.
and wipe it on him or something?
Yeah, that's the idea. Or he put some blood on it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Right.
did he do that? Like,
Yeah.
where did he? What I want to know. Like,
There's
I want to
probably
see
a
the
lot
scene.
of dead people here.
I want to see the scene where like Fury stages these things.
In between
And
times.
I really want to know like that's fresh blood too. Like it smears.
Right. And I wonder if he kept any, because those are supposed to be like really collectible. Like, did he keep a few of them?
I mean,
Like,
they're
he
even
just
more
bloods
collectible now,
up
They
like
have blood
5.
on 'em. Like,
Yeah, but it's not like Captain America's blood.
Oh,
That would be
I
famous.
guess that's true. Yeah.
If you could be like, this is Captain
Can you
America's blood.
Do you bleed?
Oh, gosh. Oh, Justice League Babyface. That's a thing. If you should watch, you'll watch it. You'll understand later. Because I'm sure you heard that part, but basically, Henry Cavill was filming Mission Impossible, where he has that mustache, and they had to come back for reshoots, and they literally MGM or whoever owns whatever
Mission Impossible.
Yeah, they would not let him shave his mustache, so they made like it's just. For whatever reason, they would not let him do it, so they made them put like the dots on his face
To CGI
to CGI out of it, and it looks funny as all else. He's like, at certain scenes, you can
Hollywood.
it's so really weird.
That's so weird too, because a lot of
It's like
times
they call it baby
they
mouth.
do the fake mustaches on actors. So like
Oh,
the
yeah,
fact that
yeah.
they couldn't put a fake mustache on him. For
Right. It's
Mission Impossible.
well, it's part of his contract, and he
Yeah.
was in there. I guess it was like
Yeah.
a big screw you to Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is the most depressing pep talk to actually talk about the movie for a second. Like
Oh
this.
yeah, sorry. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we shouldn't be talking about the movie at the sad part.
Yeah.
I mean, we know he comes back. Spoiler.
Yeah, well, not in this movie, but yeah,
Right.
at some point.
Are you thinking about picking up, or
I'm not worthy. I'm just a big jerk face.
I should cut off my hair? You're right. You should.
Hmm.
Ragnarok was so good, though.
Such
It
a
was-
great movie.
I've tried to get into that. What We Do in the Shadows. I just haven't really got into it, but I've heard it's hilarious. I've seen
It's a weird humor. I mean,
Right.
you got to be kind of into that humor.
Well, I liked Ragnarok a lot.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, it's a different. It's not even like. I mean, obviously, Ragnarok's a
Right.
completely different type of movie. Anyway.
Well, what was that show? Was that him too? The one that they're like trying to start a band?
No, it wasn't him, but the one of the guys that's in What We Do in the
Yeah,
Shadows,
yeah.
Fly the Conchords.
Flight of
And
Conchords.
it has a very similar humor to it. It's really
Right.
awkward.
But Taika Waititi doesn't direct it then.
I haven't looked at all the behind the scenes stuff on that one, so I mean, if he may be involved somewhere in
Right,
some of
right,
them, but
right.
he's not in it.
Gotcha.
Like, that's
But I would
that's the
think it
actual
would,
guys Fly the Conchords.
I could see. Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I could see him like directing it. You know what I mean? Like. If
Oh
he-
yeah. I mean, that's their sensibilities have a lot
Right.
of common ground there.
What do you think of the whole James Gunn thing? Now he's back, which is cool.
Oh yeah, they should have just like sucked it up and been like, all right, we shouldn't have fired him.
Yeah.
This was a dumb thing that happened on the internet. So
Eventually they did.
I know. I mean, that's what they should have done it from the beginning and said, all right, look,
Right.
you know, he apologized way before
Right.
any of it came out. I mean, it wasn't like it was a secret.
Yeah, I know. That was the joke about trying to take the moral high ground because it became a thing, even though you had to know that
Yeah.
this was already out there. Where you don't vet your people. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you're Disney. Like
Yeah.
somebody knew.
I mean, come on.
Right. But anyways, supposedly though, the decision him coming back was supposed to be like done months ago, which was kind of cool too.
No,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Well, I figured like I think none of the actors would have done it without him. Like they
Well,
were all
yeah.
like, behind him.
Well, they waited until they had like a lot of good publicity with other stuff going on
Yeah.
to kind of release it.
Disney and their
Right. Which might turn out for the best because we're gonna get him directing Suicide Squad.
Oh
2.
yeah, I'm excited to see how that goes because anything will be better than the first Suicide Squad.
Right. 100%.
God.
I just hope it's all of them running from Batman by saying Martha.
Yeah. That's the thing too. Like Suicide Squad had no humor in it.
Oh my gosh, it was
It
supposed
was
to be
so awful.
right.
Like it was literally like, here's your chance to have a team movie that could basically be like Deadpool for DC.
Right. Was Deadpool out before that though?
Yeah, the
Was
first Deadpool came out before the first Suicide Squad.
Yeah, but I don't know if they were like
Well, I mean, they may have
made
not,
so close
no,
together that
yeah,
you'd be able
they
to
probably weren't
borrow
like
from each other.
referencing it or anything.
right.
I mean, they made it a PG-13 movie too.
Well, yeah, but I'm
Which-
just saying like I don't know if they could have like got creative like
No.
ideas of copying it. You know
No,
what I mean?
that's the thing again. But it's Warner Brothers getting people to make these comic book movies who don't really have any reference to the source material, or at least don't look for it.
Right.
Because none of the characters are played right.
Yeah.
Like none of them were played in any way, shape, or form towards like at most you had Harley Quinn, who was played really well by Margot Robbie. Like that was a one good thing in that movie,
Right.
and her even her relationship to Joker was kind of on point, but a little too emo
Yeah.
ish to me. I mean
That
it just-
Joker just didn't work for me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I can get over like some of the choices for how they presented the Joker, but their relationship was just not. It didn't work for that movie.
Yeah. I don't know. I just didn't think Jared Leto's Joker worked at all for me.
Yeah,
Just,
I mean, I know a
just
lot of
the way
people
he
that
talked.
think that way, and it's
everything.
like I had other problems before that.
Right.
Is my thing. Like if other things had been better, I might have been able to be like, all right, you made some choices. That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah.
seeing Joaquin Phoenix's Joker,
That looks crazy.
that looks like it's going to be an interesting movie.
Right. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is a great actor.
But my main thing with Suicide Squad, just to put it out there into the universe, is don't make a movie about villains who are good at being villains but are depressed because they're villains. Like, they sat the entire damn movie and moped about the fact that they were bad guys. Like, they liked being bad guys. They were good at it.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith's character, Deadshot.
Yeah.
Like, he's a professional assassin who's the best assassin in the world. Don't make him feel guilty about being an assassin.
Well, I think that's kind of the big trope that you're going to have with all. Who did it really well was Infinity War, with making the movie's main antagonist was kind of the same thing as main protagonist. You know what I'm saying? Like, Thanos was like the villain, but he was like almost like the main star.
Well, I mean, yeah, you make a good villain, someone whose rationale is understandable.
But that's what I'm saying. Whenever you make the bad guy the lead,
yeah,
it's like you kind of similar to the same thing they did with Venom.
Yeah, Venom's
you know what I mean?
a good example.
It's like they have to make a good bad guy.
But
you know
even Deadpool, like that's why I referenced Deadpool, because Deadpool is an anti-hero kind of character where he does things that aren't considered good guy things, but he is also
I love Deadpool,
a good guy. Like, he's you root for him,
right?
And that's the thing, is like that's what the Suicide Squad was supposed to be, is like these characters who
If they could have done it with levity,
if they were in any of the other comics, they would be the bad guy.
Right.
But in this one, they're the people you're rooting for, and you have to have humor about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, Deadpool gets away with it because
you also have to have
hilarious.
Let the foul language fly and let there be blood. Make it an R. Don't sit there and defang your villains. Yeah, just to make, because you want to be.
I hope they make, and it looks like it will be, but I hope they don't try to make Joker PG-13.
I don't think they will. I mean, also that Birds of Prey looks kind of interesting. Whatever that's going to be about. With
I haven't
Harley Quinn.
seen anything much about it. I've heard about it, but I haven't seen much about it.
And they're putting, like, Harley Quinn wasn't originally in Birds of Prey.
Was she not?
Not in the comics, I don't think. But I think I see why they put her in there, because Margot Robbie was a good cast for that part.
Honestly, I didn't dislike Will Smith there either.
Well,
I just don't think
I liked him for that character. I didn't like the way they played the character.
Right.
Any of the characters. I mean, Killer Croc was literally that guy from rap videos who's just behind the main guy rapping, going, yeah. That's literally all he did.
So you're reminding me of it, because I've seen it once. I think I know I've seen it once, but I don't think I saw anything after that.
And then you have Pyro, who's got Catholic guilt or whatever.
Yeah, I was just trying to get you there. I just remember that part. I think that's from the trailer. Yeah, it's just been so long since I've seen it.
That's what I'm saying. It was literally a bunch of people moping about the fact that they have to be bad people.
Right.
And then the whole, it was overblown villain too. Like, Suicide Squad, you send them in the middle of nowhere doing something that no one's going to find out about.
Right.
You don't send them in, if there's a monster demoness who's taking over the middle of a city, shooting sky beams into the air, Superman's going to show up.
Mm.
Somebody's going to show up. That's a hero.
But she was magical.
Well,
and what was Superman going to do? He never liked magic.
They brought Batman in long enough to show him capturing 2 or 3 of the people. He couldn't be bothered to actually take care of a real threat, like someone destroying.
Well, that was a long time ago, though, right? That wasn't at the same present moment.
No, they were captured before the movie.
I think what was supposed to be happening was that Batman and Superman were fighting each other.
Oh, right, at the time,
while the other thing was going on.
Oh, was it coincident? With
right. Yeah.
Okay.
That's exactly what was happening.
So the terribleness of one movie caused the terribleness of a second movie.
Right.
Martha. The spreading of awfulness.
Right.
Okay. That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually didn't. I mean, looking back on retrospect, I think Man of Steel is good. It's a pretty good movie.
Well, Man of Steel, that's what gave it kind of hope, was hey, this is a pretty decent movie.
Right. I mean, but I remember back then feeling like I was fairly disappointed in it. Maybe it was too heady. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I think
it was
looking at it later on, I'm like,
Snyder still has that, he has an eye.
Right.
But, you need somebody else writing the story.
But that being said, I think Man of Steel was
perfecting the story more.
I think Man of Steel was pretty, on point overall. Yeah. I just, I think what was weird, you'll note it if and when we watch Justice League,
Yeah.
it'll be that much more apparent of what happens. Like, it's so kind of a weird. It's almost like an Elseworlds version, even being in there, because it's just like the opinion. First off, Superman. What happened with Superman really fast. It was like the first day he was Superman. All these aliens were attacking and like all destruction, right? And then you had Batman v Superman, where everybody was like, "Justice," and you caused it.
Right.
And then just jumps to Justice League, and it was like, Superman was a banner of hope, and we need Superman. It's like, what? It's like it does. It's like if there was like 3 or 4 movies in between that, you know what I mean? Like showing that Superman has been like saving people for a long time, and you know what I mean? It just was like,
Right.
it's just such a leap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they jump through too many plot points
Right.
too quickly.
Yeah. And I think that was a big problem with all that. Like, I think they rushed everything with that. I mean, I thought Man of Steel was good.
Yeah,
I
those
thought-
people are dead, by the way.
Right.
You have that
As-
much thrust going down at the ground. Those people are blind, deaf, and probably dead.
Melted too by the heat of that propeller.
The dreaded skybeam.
Right.
For as long as this took, you think they could have just like been on their way.
Yeah, this movie seems to. Whoa! Wow, did you hear that?
Oh,
Sorry, I'm just going through puberty at 30.
took you long enough.
Finally, my balls just dropped. That being said, if I was really just going through puberty at 30, maybe I'd lived like 160. That'd be
Or
pretty
you
impressive.
just have a really awkward life.
I hope I hit a growth spur because I'm not that tall.
You know what's funny about this though? I mean, when you ask New Yorkers after the fact, they're still like, "Oh yeah, it's New York.
Yeah,
Yeah, we had an alien invasion. Whatever, it's New York. We've seen it all."
right. It's crazy because like all aliens come destroy New York.
God, right? It's always like the first
Independence Day.
place. Oh, I mean, to be fairness, Independence Day they hit several
Right, big
key cities
right.
simultaneously.
It's like
I mean, that was a real thought out invasion.
right. Oh God, Independence Day 2, awful.
Oh, why? Why even?
Why did they
bother?
make it?
Oh my goodness.
Oh gosh, it's brutal. But we were talking about Deadpool earlier. I actually like Deadpool 2 better personally. I
So
think
then,
I
yeah.
think the stories.
I think the character development was a lot stronger.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I guess it's built upon that big love story from the beginning, but you just like
Yeah.
extremely feel for them.
Well, that's why I'm always a fan of like really well done
Right.
second movies anyway. Like, the intro movies, the first movies, the background movies are always
Right.
like they can only go so far
Yeah.
because they're introducing you to the character and everything. But when you get like that's why I think TV shows have done really well recently is because they have people that are actually like diving into deep emotional developments
Right.
with characters, and like the MCU's done really well. I mean, even though
Yeah.
MCU is still like when it comes down to it, you're still going there for a fun box office-y, time to see a movie, but having these movies, having these characters in these movies playing out over multiple movie installments, you actually
Yeah.
get to see some development. Like
Yeah.
that's why I think Iron Man 3 is probably my favorite Iron Man after the first one. Like the first one's like classic.
You think so? A
Origin.
lot of people don't.
I know
like
a lot
Iron
of
Man
people don't
3
care
much.
for Iron Man 3. I don't
Yeah.
like Iron Man 2.
Yeah, I definitely didn't like Iron Man 2.
But Iron Man 3 actually, like, that's where you see him actually deal with the emotional fallout of
Right.
something.
I think that's what people say. That's kind of like the critique that I've heard a lot is that they think Iron Man 3 was a good movie, but it not necessarily a good superhero movie, if that makes sense.
Well, and that's, like, how you define superhero, right? I mean,
Right.
yeah, it's not, has all the same, like, hallmarks of, a superhero, but, he's a person. Like,
Yeah.
he's having to deal with things.
Yeah, exactly.
Iron Man 3 is what makes the later developments in the other MCU movies more believable with his character.
Right.
I mean, like why he becomes a mentor to Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
and why he like takes the stand in Civil War that he does. Like
Yeah.
without Iron Man 3 and that emotional development.
Yeah, it wouldn't make much sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of one thing that Marvel has done, and really just superhero movies in general has really just. I think that's what gives them so much longevity is that they've played around with different genres while keeping superhero. You know, and they're not all
Right.
like I think you look at Captain America, the Winter Soldier. That's kind of like a spy movie, a spy thriller, like a Jason Bourne movie. It's not far away from that,
Yeah.
And then you look at like things like Logan, you know what I mean, like, which is basically a drama or character piece. You know what I mean? I don't think I've got your take on Logan.
Oh, I love Logan.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I think everybody did.
That's the problem. I think superhero movies have always had is because like the reason people never took them seriously
Mm-hmm.
is what you think of when you think of superheroes. You think of like old school, nothing but action, nothing but like plot driven,
Yeah.
not much on character driven stuff, not much on deep emotional conflicts and issues kind of stuff. And that's not true anymore. That hasn't been true for a long time for comics.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of crazy. I don't know. I think that Logan was robbed of a best nomination, at least a best picture nom. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, they had a best original screenplay. I guess it doesn't necessarily matter.
I don't pay attention to the award stuff anymore. I mean, because it's all political play anyway.
Right. A lot of it is, yeah.
But I mean, the point is, like you had a chance to ask a question that is really with Logan that's really important for us is like human beings. Like, all right, if you're gonna live so long and see all of your friends die, what does that do to you as a person?
Yeah.
That
was crazy too about what they had, how they had Xavier was the one that killed everybody.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the opening. Actually, they took it out. I guess
and then having that sort of up and coming group of mutants that were children that he was like helping and rescuing so that they could go on. So there was a lot of complicated stuff in that movie.
Yeah, no, it was
playing.
It was great.
To me, that's the only way you're going to keep like high quality actors involved with this sort of genre is by continuing to put that out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I think, like you said, another evolution is going to be the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm. That's that Birds of Prey and see what they do with the James Gunn Suicide Squad. Like
I have like
DCU
Walter Hamada
might
took
take
over.
a turn for the better.
Yeah, Walter Hamada took over, and it's basically as soon as he did, I mean, they've gotten a lot better. And Walter Hamada, like they basically made him like their Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
and because they didn't have like a cohesive plan.
Right.
They didn't have Kevin Feige, and I think that's kind of the same thing that's going on with Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. You need someone running the ship that says, "All right, here's where we're going."
Right.
Overall.
Yeah, exactly. It felt like because Force Awakens felt like a completely different movie than Last Jedi.
Oh, definitely. And they both, it was
Right.
Star Wars has been kind of schizophrenic.
Yeah, well,
because to me, like the only good Star Wars that have come out really has been the prequelish movies of Rogue One.
Rogue One was really good. Yeah,
and even Solo.
You thought Solo was pretty good?
I thought Solo was decent. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I didn't dislike Solo, but I definitely, I don't know. I liked Force Awakens a lot. I mean, I know that they went back to the well a lot, but at the same time, I guess it was just so much fun seeing them their characters back.
Well, it's a mix
nostalgia.
of like that was part of my problem with Force Awakens, was that there was too little story and too much pandering to the past.
Yeah.
And it's like I have no problem with like having those little throwback moments of saying, "Oh yeah, here's this. Remember this guy?
Mm-hmm.
Or remember this moment?" And having like those kind of things. You're gonna have that with a legacy franchise.
Well, it's so funny because it was kind of like I've heard people talk about that a little bit too, but it is really funny because you see Rian Johnson was like almost appeasing the people who were saying that The Force Awakens was too much like The Last Jedi. Not like The Last Jedi. Force Awakens was too much like all the things that came before the original. They were harkening too much. Right.
Yeah.
And then The Last Jedi comes out and it's so much different. And then everybody's like, That doesn't feel like Star Wars. It's not a
Yeah.
real Star Wars movie.
Well, and to me, what made it not Star Wars wasn't that it was different. It was that the problem with to me the three original trilogy was Star Wars at its best.
Right, of
And
course.
what made it at its best was the fact that it was very pointed, right? Like the bulk of those movies are focused on Luke Skywalker and his friends,
Right.
right? You don't have like what killed the prequels, what killed the 1 through 3 trilogy
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that you were trying to follow like 10 different storylines.
Oh, we're gonna watch those before
in
this whole
each,
thing's
oh my,
over.
I will
We're watching all of them.
die.
We're going to.
Yeah.
Not tonight.
We will shred those movies.
We're gonna watch them,
Yeah,
and we're gonna lead up to this new episode
Okay,
9.
Yeah, fair enough.
But we'll throw Rogue One after 3.
Okay.
We'll go in like chronological. Where
Do
we throw
Solo in
those?
there. Although Solo, yeah. Solo.
I guess it would be after 3, but before Rogue One.
between 3 and 4.
Right. But yeah, between 3 and Rogue One, and
so
then 4.
it'd be Solo before Rogue One. Do you think?
Yes, because that's like happens like the second before, and Solo is like years before.
Oh,
You know what
that's
I mean?
right. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Because they were trying to make room for in case it did really
Yeah.
good to bring like Solo 2 or whatever they
Okay,
wanted to do.
Yeah, no, you're right. So anyway, right.
So
So
back-
the problem with Last Jedi was way too many storylines.
Yeah.
They were
Well, the Canto Bite scene was awful. Like, it was Canto
that
Bite
was
or whatever it was.
unnecessary.
Man.
Didn't add anything.
Yeah, it was so stupid. It's just like they could like
Well,
throw
and
be
even-
nice to these horses.
even
It's like, okay.
like them getting
I
there and coming
agree.
back made no sense to me.
Right.
Like you're literally in a pursuit race with
Yeah.
the Empire, and you're talking about your ship's talking about how they're going to run out of fuel. Yet you have a ship
Yeah.
with enough fuel to get away without being spotted by either group. Go way away somewhere else.
Right.
Spend some time there. Come all the way back again, not being spotted.
Yeah.
And you couldn't have used that thing to like slowly get people off of the ship.
Well, I think that was the plan, though.
No. They do that later. Like they load up a bunch of ships and get them
Yeah.
off and use the main one as a distraction. Right.
Right,
That's
right.
a plan later on.
Yeah.
But they had this ship that could do jumps, and they didn't think of just go ahead and start like taking people out a bit at a time
Right.
and unloading the ship right then.
I guess maybe they didn't have enough.
But they had enough fuel for those people to leave.
Just 2 people.
And then on top of that, before they even left, they had a communication that came in that was not intercepted by anybody else
Right.
to tell them to go to that place
That's true.
and to find that person.
Well, also,
But they couldn't call for help.
you being a physicist. Oh yeah, lightning stuff's happening in Avengers, and we're
Thor
we're-
and his magic hammer.
right. He's doing his stuff. Back to
That's
that
the
movie.
best part of like old school video games when you can like bottleneck things and destroy a bunch of stuff at once.
Right. That's exactly.
They should have had like a point counter going on in the corner of the screen.
But yeah, back to our problems with the
Yeah.
Last Jedi.
Something that's not related to this movie at all.
Right. Exactly. So I heard a physicist. I think he was a physicist. I mean, I know he studied physics too. Pretty sure he.
Sure, we'll count that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I met him. I was just waiting on a shuttle actually at Disney, and we were talking about that. But he was saying, in space, there's. I mean, obviously, if you get close enough to things, eventually there's gravity. But there's no. That's kind of the law, the law of perpetual motion. You know what I mean? So if your ship was faster than another ship, if it ran out of fuel, it wouldn't matter. It would stay at that speed. You know what I'm saying?
So momentum.
Right.
Yeah.
If there's no friction, if there's
exactly.
so it was acting in a vacuum.
The only thing that would have helped them, like the only thing that would have meant the Empire catching them, is if they are both accelerating the whole time. So that means
Right, but that's the thing. They weren't. They were.
well, they had to have been. They actually were. Like
Okay.
for physics' sake, for making the physical argument of what was actually happening.
Okay.
So if they're both burning fuel, they're both the Empire and the Rebellion ships, or they're not rebels in this case, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Resistance.
the Resistance.
No.
Because they're the main ones now, right?
The
'Cause
Resistance
it's
is the good ones.
The faction that was Empire related is now
Now you're gonna.
Yeah, this is
Oh
weird.
my gosh.
So the politics on
Right,
the
right.
politics is another issue I had with it. But
Okay.
anyway, so if they're-
First order.
yeah. So
Got
the
it.
first, so they're
I win.
the pursuers and the and the chased.
Right.
So they're both burning fuel.
Okay.
So to be burning fuel means that you're creating thrust,
So
and
you're
that thrust is
accelerating.
accelerating both those ships. So the idea is that, so if the Empire is slowly catching up to them, that means the Empire, or the First Order, is burning more and creating more thrust, and therefore accelerating greater.
Right, but I'm saying if
And
if
then
you
if-
stopped,
If the Resistance or whoever,
they weren't catching up.
well, they weren't. They were accelerating the same.
Right, but
Right.
that's
So
I
what
guess,
that means
yeah.
is that if they're accelerating, as soon as they run out of fuel, they stop accelerating. And yeah, they maintain whatever speed they were having when they stopped accelerating. But the First Order, who is still burning fuel, is overtaking them, is now accelerating past that speed and can overtake them.
I guess, but I guess it wasn't.
But that's
I
the
don't
thing. Let's say if it's not like a car chase, like
Yeah.
we think of car chase, right? So like on Earth, you're both have your foot to the pedal and pushing it down, and you've got air resistance, all this other stuff. And if you run out of gas, you will stop.
Right. Well, that's what they were making it like. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what it's saying, because that's what people's experience is, right?
Right.
So like that's the thing. Like if you wanted to make sense of what they were doing in space, it's an acceleration thing
Right.
of saying like they would maintain the speed, but the Empire would eventually accelerate past that speed and catch up to them.
Yeah.
So it could have made sense within that context.
But they
But
didn't
then,
really make
for
it
as
that
long
way.
as they've been accelerating and burning thrust,
Right.
they eventually would reach relativistic speeds.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
But that's what's like hyperspeed is supposed to be like, and all that kind of stuff, right?
right. But I think that's where they do that jump or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's
That's
a whole
weird
different-
because sometimes they say they call it light speed, but it's like hyper speed. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about?
like a hyper jump.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
light speed, and then Star Trek uses warp speeds. and
Yeah,
stuff
but
like
light
that.
speed would not get you around the galaxy fast enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like
You-
light speed, 4 years to next star. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
It's like-
yeah. It's still really slow because everything's really
Right,
big.
right,
And that's
right.
what people don't understand. That's the thing. That's my problem with Force Awakens too. Was when they showed the new Death Star blowing up like 4 planets at one time,
Oh yeah,
and they're
so
on one
stupid.
planet and they see them all. It's like,
right. Unless it was all in the same
what?
star system.
yeah, they have to be in the same star system, and they'd have to be like really close to each other. Think about it.
Yeah,
Do you see Mars in daytime?
usually. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right. Do you see Jupiter hanging out in the daytime?
Right.
And then
Well,
if-
unless it
if
would be
Jupiter
like,
blew up, could you
I guess
see it?
I guess you could look at it even more so that like it would be, sometimes moons or planets. Maybe these were all moons around a big like gas
Maybe.
giant.
Maybe.
I'm just throwing that out.
Yeah,
there.
right, maybe. But
Right.
still, like, based on, like, the way they made out the structure of the galaxy in the first 3, like, even the prequels.
Can we just hope that one
Um,
of those moons was Pandora and we won't
maybe.
have to watch any of these
No,
outdoor
we're going to have to watch all 4 of the simultaneous sequels
I'll be there. Opening
of
night.
Avatar. They're supposed to be, like, coming out one after another, but I
Right.
kind of hope that Avatar, they just, like, release 2 through 5 all at once.
I think that they are filming. They've written scripts for them. I think even James Cameron said, obviously the dictation of how these next 2 do will be
Yeah. Oh, you
Of
gotta
course,
love that their solution to everything is, like, wormhole in the sky, nuke,
nuke it.
nuke it.
Right. I love
How
how
to
we
save
went
the
on
rest
a
of the world?
tangent so much.
Nuke it.
Like if y'all are still watching this, but they're like just gonna cut
They
off.
probably, they probably turned off the audio or turned off the movie.
Yeah, one of the two. You gotta
Actually,
choose.
we're still working out the kinks, so we're gonna like advertise this as if you want to hear 2 people talk about things during a movie.
Right.
This is the commentary for you.
Commentary ish.
Yeah. We occasionally commentate the movie. We're commentating things,
Yes.
not necessarily the thing you're watching.
Right.
Which at this point
This is our
you know,
Last Jedi commentary of
all
the
the things we
Avengers.
hate about other movies that aren't aren't related to this.
Oh, this is an awesome part of this movie.
Oh, this is the best part. Like, other than him punching
yeah,
Thor,
which we totally missed
yeah,
because
I
we
know,
were
'cause
ranting.
I was ranting about
Yeah, yeah.
something.
Boom.
Just to go back to like the other part, where like look, we can re-record these 2. But to go back to the other part, like when I thought, were we together when we we saw that the first time?
Yes.
And
I was sitting beside
died
you.
laughing.
You cried. Like,
Oh
you were
my
making me
God.
laugh
'Cause
because
of, like,
you just lost it.
Just because I was wanting it to happen. Like, there was a part of me inside that was like, oh, it'd be hilarious right now if he just, like, it was like, as soon as he punched him,
Yeah.
and it's just like, that was like the perfect thing to happen ever, him punching Thor. And I don't think I saw the next 5 minutes of the movie.
Lost it.
I
It was so
bent
hilarious.
over
Like, I was
cracking up.
like, it's like, I thought it was hilarious. I did. But, you know, when somebody else thinks it's like that much more funny, it like made it even funnier to me. Because like, I'm watching you like fall out on the floor and I'm like laughing at you.
Oh, yeah, I really did. I was in the aisle. I was just, that was just amazing.
I remember this.
There's just some of those things that happen in movies, and people say things that just hit you the right way, and that's
Right,
just
right.
perfect. It still makes me laugh.
Yeah, it's still funny.
I mean, it hasn't made me laugh that hard since, but
yeah.
it
I mean, it's a good moment. Yeah.
It was also the elation of seeing this movie for the first time. And
Right.
This was the perfect superhero compilation movie.
Yeah. And that being said, like, I kind of got the feels about Justice League too. You know what I mean? Just because I guess it was like, you know, it wasn't near as good. Don't get me wrong. But it was just like, oh man, I'm seeing all these characters. Like, this is something I never
Finally
thought
get
would
to
happen.
see them
Right.
in this context.
Yeah, I never, like, when I was watching the cartoons when I was a kid, I would have never thought
Right.
that
And
this would all
getting
be a
past that.
thing.
And that's the thing that's like Marvel has kind of ruined everything for me too,
Yeah.
in the sense that like I have a standard now.
Right.
Like, I can look at DC and say you're not living up to the standard
Yeah,
of
yeah.
presenting your characters in the best way you can
Right.
with what you have available to you.
But like I said, I think the last two's been great.
Oh yeah, the individual movies for DC,
Yeah.
they've done well, and they've gotten good directors, they've gotten good
Right.
writers and stuff like that.
I just don't feel like they earned a lot. You know what I mean? Like they were trying to catch up with Marvel too fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's part of the problem. They need to stop worrying about Marvel,
Right.
and just like with the comics, like that's the problem. Is like, look, you're both like juggernauts of the
Right.
comic industry. Stick with your wheelhouse. Stick with what you do, and don't
Right.
worry about the other one.
Right. And when I think it was kind of like along the lines of that studio WB and the corporate head or whatever, it was kind of like, what? They're making all this money with superheroes? We got superheroes? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like, well, just get them out there.
I don't
You know what I mean?
I mean, other than Batman, they haven't like they
Oh
did.
gosh,
in
yeah.
like
those
the
originally the
70s
Dark Knight
Superman
Batman.
movies were making money for them, but
Yeah.
you know when they tried to do Superman Returns, that was awful.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
what gets me too about Warner Brothers is like all of their animated movies are amazing.
Yeah.
Like if
But again, I think that's taking a lot of the corporate hands out of the cookie jar.
well,
a
they're
little bit, too,
giving
or
it
out
off to the right people.
Right. You know what I mean? Like, it's not as much money, so they don't care as much.
Yeah.
You know, okay, if this is bad, it doesn't matter, so they let them do their thing, and it turns out that it's good.
Yeah.
I think that was a part of Shazam, too. Is Shazam was a much lower budget movie.
Well, okay, nice.
And it was, I mean, like, much lower compared to, like, you know, Batman v Superman and Justice League and all that.
Right. Here comes the nuke.
Right. Aquaman, I liked Aquaman.
Oh, Aquaman was good.
Yeah. And I guess that
it was solid. I mean,
Shazam is probably right now, which I'm not saying it's the best movie of the year necessarily, but it's my favorite movie of the year so far, from what I've seen.
honestly, the last couple of years, my favorite movies have been like the indie kind of like lower,
Oh, you mean like
Not-
the actual...
not the blockbuster kind of movies.
Right. Well,
Like-
the movies that actually would win, like Best Pictures.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well,
Well, what-
depends. I mean,
what
like
movie-
I like
Did you like
last
The Shape
year
of
or year
Water?
before, it was things like
Like-
Logan Lucky. I thought was a great movie.
Yeah, I watched that. But I didn't... Logan Lucky's the one where they're like robbing things, right? Or
The
it has
NASCAR,
Kylo Ren.
Like they robbed the NASCAR.
Right,
track.
Kylo Ren. I honestly, I watched it once. Maybe I was high. I don't know. I just somehow it didn't connect
It's
to
really
me.
dry humor. I mean,
Well, it's like I didn't get it. They were like, "Yeah, we're shedding this money," but then we got the money, and I was like, "Wait, what?"
yeah, they have.
It's
the
like
twist. they have like the heist twist.
Right. They had the heist twist, but like without the explanation to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
they squeeze it in there. Yeah, if you're high and not really paying attention.
yeah, I was just kind of like, "Wait,
Yeah,
what
you
happened to
might
the
wanna
money?"
rewatch that movie.
Which I haven't been high in a long time, like
Yeah.
for real. But I-
FBI. We're not high now.
Right, we're just really weird.
We're just talking. No, but no, I mean that was good. I mean, I would recommend rewatching it. It's a solid movie.
Yeah,
but
man,
like
like I
Baby
said,
Driver,
I
Baby
could've
Driver, I thought was like
yeah,
fantastic.
that's another one.
And it was one of those. It wasn't a high budget. I mean, it had a budget.
Yeah,
but I think most of its budget went to the music.
yeah.
It had, like,
This is a good
amazing
moment.
soundtrack. Oh yeah,
and kind of
Sacrifice.
the foreshadowing of
Iron Man 3 here. Yeah.
or the foreshadowing of what Roger said earlier in the movie. You're not the one to make the play or the sacrifice.
Oh yeah, the sacrifice.
And then he does.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to be fair, he doesn't jump on a grenade.
That's true. It's only a nuclear bomb.
Right.
Loser.
Yeah. You have to use something real high techy, don't you? Nuclear bomb.
And he makes it out. Lucky. How's his gravity work? I'm just trying
It doesn't.
Okay, I was making sure.
The only way...
Because I knew it looked stupid.
Yeah.
But I was making sure. So that little hole has enough of Earth's gravity to pull him back down?
Somehow there's a gravitational field being channeled through the hole that was generated by the Earth.
Oh, everybody knows that's how wormholes work.
And it's pulling him back down.
Right. I don't get it. And they're all white walkered out. Or whites. Right?
And then at the same time, like, if that's a wormhole, why isn't the atmosphere being sucked out of the Earth?
So, when we're filming this, when we're recording this, the first Game of Thrones episode is about to start. The first episode of the last season.
Yeah. I think we're already missed the start. It's 8:37 here.
Oh, awesome. So we're going to be able to watch it right after this.
Yeah.
It's on.
We're going to start it.
So excited. Can we cut off this? Are y'all done with the movie?
Yeah.
We've been
You're
talking.
still watching this? No, Iron Man just fell back through the hole. He's unconscious.
Okay.
Somehow, I mean, we'll give him some
Right.
like, I mean, okay, if he pushed off of the nuclear weapon.
Right.
And that momentum carried him back towards the wormhole.
Exactly. FYI, we're not going to stick around for the post-credit scenes.
You know
what they are.
You know what they are. You know what they're going to do.
Right.
They,
Shawarma.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The hilarity that is actors eating lunch together.
That was a hilarious part.
That was great.
But
it was great. One of those things, like one Marvel has now mastered the after credit scene tactic of doing the thing that you think is too trivial for them to actually do.
right.
Like people eating shawarma, a cat vomiting.
Yeah.
I mean, just stuff like that.
Some of it though kind of upsets me sometimes because they've made it such a precedent that you need to stay. Like this was hilarious, but they make it such a precedent that
they had
you
the
should
Howard the
stay.
Duck moment.
Right. That one pissed me off. I just didn't care.
I would have liked Howard the Duck moment better if they actually said, "All right, we're gonna make a Howard the Duck movie."
Oh gosh.
That would have to be an R movie.
But I don't know. I just feel like when I sit around through all the credits and it's something so stupid, I'm just kind of I'm just kind of like, Which I think I've kind of seen a pattern now that's like the mid credits one.
Yeah, is the important one.
Is going to be the one.
Well, because I think they know that most people aren't staying.
Right.
They've gotten the feel like there's those of us that will stay. There's like out of a whole theater, there's like 10 people that are going to stay.
Right.
But then you have most of those that are like, once it hits the main scroll, like, I'm done. I'm gone.
Right.
And so they put the important stuff right there.
Yeah, but I felt like it. I guess it was this movie. The last one is I'll do it myself. No, that's Swarmer. Swarmer's the last one, isn't it?
Yeah, and this one it is. It's
so the mid credit is the I'll do it myself.
No.
Or no, it's just
that's a
it's
later
just
movie.
Yeah, but it's just Thanos turning around and smiling.
Yeah, to court to face Earth is to court death or whatever.
Right. And he's kind of turns around and smiles and says, "I lost two.
Yeah, I'll do it myself.
I've lost 2 stones. I should smile today."
Which movie is I'll do it myself?
I think that's the end of.
It's not Avengers 2.
It
was another Infinity Stone based one, right? Where
would have been Guardians of the Galaxy. No, he was actually in that talking.
Yeah. Man, I've forgotten which end credit that was. This is my favorite part too. We have like the aftermath of like everyone either really loves these people or is kind of annoyed at them. It's like, they should clean up their own mess.
Right. Yeah, after we saved you.
Yep. Oh, the glory that is Here you go. Here was the scene I was talking about earlier. So he's about to have the Tesseract in a magic box that is going to teleport him and Loki back to Asgard.
Magic.
Magic.
That's what happened.
Yeah. There's the secret dark council of evil people that are pretending not to be evil. See? There it is. Where does this thing come from? Who built this thing?
Well, it doesn't say how long the time has passed.
Well,
Maybe
that's
this
true.
was a month
They
later.
hung out for like a decade or
Right.
two.
There was a lot of news things. He
And
still has
what's
scars
with the
on his
Hannibal
face.
Lecter mask, too? Like, where does that come from?
I guess since he's such a trickster,
Yeah, well,
they're
I
like,
mean-
we don't want him tricking anybody else.
And like, either he's going to bite somebody or like his powers derive from him saying things.
This was a great movie.
Classic. I
I
mean,
mean, it is great.
yeah. Forever. Forever will be a classic. Although this scene always confuses me of like, why do you have to have the last line moment of like Colby Smulders again just there to prompt.
Right.
So what do we do now? What if we need them again?
Did you
Well, they'll be here.
you see that interview they did where Colby Smulders got like asked the first question, and then like a lot of people were they were asking a lot. It was like a big Avengers panel,
Uh-huh.
and they were asking like a lot of people different questions, and finally it got back around to Robert Downey Jr. And Robert Downey Jr. was like, first off, next time I'm not asked the first question in one of these, I'm getting up and walking back out. Like he's being, I think he was being sarcastic. Everybody cracked up, and it was
Right.
like he was being funny, but at the same time, it was really funny the way he did it.
Oh, yeah, and the foreshadowing of now it's going to be Avengers Tower
Right. For a little while.
until it gets destroyed, like everything else.
Right. You think that'll become the Fantastic Four Tower?
I love these like little coincidences that he emphasized the A in his name Stark,
Right.
and it happens to be the one letter that stays up there
I mean,
and then becomes Avengers.
exactly.
Serendipity.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our rendition of
Yeah, a commentary.
what was this movie again? Of
The first Avengers
the
movie.
first Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry that we talked. Not really.
We
This
might
is-
have talked more about like the
Other
other
mo-
movies than
Yeah.
this movie.
We probably did.
We'll refine our process of commentating.
But that being said, I mean, like, as far as jokes and stuff goes, there's not much to joke about this movie. You know what
I mean, there's some things.
yeah, but I mean, overall,
it's
you're nitpicking. I mean,
yeah,
I couldn't
yeah,
make
yeah,
this
that's
movie.
true. I mean, it's
You know what
it's a lovable movie.
Exactly.
Yeah. We have to pick out like much worse movies to make fun of.
Right. If this is gonna be just a funny thing, so it's just
Like we'll do Suicide Squad. That'd be hilarious.
oh gosh,
I don't know if I can suffer
my
through that.
eyes are bleeding. We're gonna have to do the prequels,
Oh yeah, that'll
so
be-
that'll
but,
happen.
Yeah, we'll have to.
I didn't hate 3.
No, there's problems. But
Yeah, there's
it's-
problems, but
it's-
it has
out of
enough
the
cool
out of the
stuff.
3 prequels, it's the better
best.
one.
It's the best of the
Yeah.
3. Okay, so we're
that'll come
signing off. This is Matt,
The-
and you are
Oh, I'm John.
okay. Good. Peace out.
Bye.